All right, welcome for joining us. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it here for Group 6 as we get into their session 7. Since we had kind of a half session kind of grouped together at finishing session 6, so we're coming into the next session after that. Um, Quickening through the recap as kind of fast as possible. Things really didn't go down with the Duke. That was kind of, I would say, planned, right? There was a lot of dynamic things happening. There was this trying to piece things together. We had a good check that was kind of picked up upon a tick. Essentially, the Duke was lying. And then all these motions and everything that was kind of occurring happened in very rapid pace, right? So they kind of just went bam, bam, bam. They're just really interacting on what you all were doing. In concluding the kind of the plan to kind of wrap it up, like I said, quick recap. Regmore went in pursuit of the horse with two riders, two cloaked riders, okay, heading to the south. Definitely in pursuit of that. In addition to that, you had the familiars escape, right? So you have the familiars out. So currently, Snowy and Heavy are they're supposedly that is what they're on, right? Now, as you all got back to the tavern, upon potentially meeting the Duke at the noonish hour, okay, after you're all kind of rushed back, some of you found the scene of the servants, the slain servants within the manor. All of a sudden, the whistling and the wing beats happened in seconds. Okay, these are seconds of time that this emerged. And so perceiving and how this thing went into the actual tavern, was that it had actually taken flight high in altitude and had distinguished itself into a camouflage of the backdrop of snow and cloud. And the way that it moved into the air, it kind of funneled itself down into a long stretch, and it seemingly looked like the snow as it came through, just passively in your perceptions. Very quick as it was kind of flowing through. The dragon, though, now as it smashed in, unveiling that there was some sort of maybe camouflage effect that it could hide within the white background of the expanse of the snow, almost kind of forming the humidity around it and being able to kind of protect itself from the sight as it kind of now crashed into the tavern. It is very much a dragon missile. That is the best way to describe how it has literally impaled itself into the tavern. The tavern folk, I went ahead and removed some of the walls that kind of showcases the destruction and damage, opening up sight lines. It was a very kind of penetrating blow into the tavernscape. The patrons that were there have been crushed. Others have had the debris of the roof kind of fall on top of them. You lot are actually outside of the way that the debris of the stone tavern, solid stone, even the roof, has kind of caved inwards and then pushed outwards from the actual explosion. Before we get to the start of the session, that effect of this creature going to the earth has caused an actual earthquake into the flooring. And so there's cracks and splinters. So we will need dexterity saving throws before we even start rolling initiatives, just to maintain your balance from the actual quake that has emerged from the hit of this dragon. Now, it has no damage, as a barrier has sprouted forth from its body and seemed to have almost absorbed the bludgeoning damage that would have been done to a creature such as this, impaling themselves into the earth. And it seems to kind of pull at this purple and pink cackling lightning as it's kind of curling the debris and the rock kind of around it, and almost working of its own voluntary movement in a way that seems sub to the actual dragon's movements. And that's perspective, the actual barrier is not moving in response to what the dragon is doing. So when it kind of came down, the dragon's like picking itself up, it's moving its wings, it's trying to right itself. Most of its backside is outside of the tavern currently at the back end. And the barrier is like clearing objects and like moving with these own little tendrils of electricity sparks in the way that it's doing that. Now, getting to the description of this particular dragon, as we come to this is a white dragon with frozen and icicle-covered scales, roughly 70 feet long and a wingspan of 90 feet. As now its backside is currently outside of the tavern, its wings are folding into itself. It's now standing up, kind of perching itself upright. And so you're really just looking at this thing through a hole of the actual ceiling. That's the best way to interpret this, is the fact that it's kind of pulling itself up from the debris is kind of cresting and moving out, right? The eyes are a deep mirrored blue, and they seem to glow with the right light. So they're almost kind of this ethereal kind of glow as they kind of shine outwards. The claws and talons are long, sharp, and they are riddled with tiny spikes, particularly for grabbing into thick ice as well as burrowing. In a similar fashion, the wings can be used to embed into the ice. You're seeing the same sort of little tiny spikes on the wings, even within the sheaths of the wings as well. And it's very much a dragon that prefers to burrow and not necessarily fly. If it's icicles and jagged edges, there's not really a whole lot of aerodynamics to it, which surprises you that it would be so daring to be able to just to do something such as this and then survive it as well, seemingly unscathed. Barlow is currently alive. 2 of the patrons are alive as well. They are all 3 prone, 2 of which have been clubbed by debris of the ceiling. Barlow has kind of used the bar counter of solid stone to brace against and survive. This creature, upon landing, uncurling itself, has yet to speak, has yet to do anything. It's really just taking the opportunity, with you all being kind of caught off guard, to pull itself upright and get itself into kind of position of its own self. Right. Any questions?
If I'm outside, do I have to roll that dexterity save?
Yes, you are in the quake zone.
Okay.
Making a comment I did make, I was stating, right, passengers that had survived, Captain Keely, so the striker and Rhubarb, right, they are, I was mentioned them below. Remember, there's a basement level of this particular tavern. And one of the things that I was kind of pointing out was the fact that we had those little festivities and drinking and other sorts of things, right, with a large amount of alcohol that was brought out. Some of the actual passengers that had survived the attack on the striker and the wrecker, they're below the tavern, which is why I made that comment. We were kind of joking, like, oh, the polar patrons and stuff. I was like, not just them, but the people underneath that are in their rooms right now, potentially sleeping from the night that they just partied hard. Yeah, lots of stuff there.
So technically, they had their last meal. Great.
Have a good time.
I need dexterity saving throws from everyone except for Regmore, because Regmore's not here.
I'm lucky for this.
Regmore, I will go ahead and drag your token onto the board and reveal it as well, so you have vision, so you can kind of see. And I'm also going to put you probably to this side, so you understand what you're seeing.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a chronal shift as well. So we roll that.
So much for getting an early shot off.
Okay. All right, after you get your dexterity saving throws, I need you to roll initiatives, please. Oh. That's sad.
Yeah, you see the 30.
Yeah, I got the 30. I'm looking at the all the saving throws that were done.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. So, all right, well, okay.
That's with burning a lucky too.
I have a third. Yeah, how do you get the plus 10 there? Sure. That's
What's all? How do you get a 30?
Wizard. My intelligence is my initiative.
Yeah.
Also, is it
Well,
observant?
Do you have alert?
Yeah. I have observant plus my whatchamacallit,
So you
my
you
intelligence
have
mod.
you have alert and your currency magic.
Yeah,
So-
alert, not observant, alert. There you go.
So you have +5 from alert, and then you should have
Plus
+5
5.
from the intelligence modifier. out
Exactly,
of
yeah.
currency.
Yeah.
Or temporal awareness. So the modifier is +12. For
Plus
the alert.
the plus dexterity.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
you're
so
plus
that's
two dex.
Wow,
5
okay, good, good for you.
intelligence, 5 Dude, like, damn. I'm always first. Everyone stay back. All right, well. So I'm going to go unpause, and we come into round 1 with the thaw at round 1. Immediately, when we come into your turn, quick to the draw, maintaining yourself in position with reaction, and not being kind of prone from the quake, there is something that is just absolutely immediately apparent to you. It's the fact that your particular stone is burning, and there is a painful sensation emerging from it, and a compulsion that is grabbing you. Sure enough, a female or feminine voice slightly becomes penetrating through your mind, and almost like a ear-piercing screech as it kind of has a psionic blast throughout. And the only word that you can hear is "use it." Well, 2 words, I should say.
Okay. I mean, sure. I'll grab the gem out of my pocket. I'll jump on the table. Look back at the party real quick. I'm like, this is all I got, guys. I don't know what else to do. And I'll raise the gem towards the dragon.
Okay. So as you raise the gem towards the dragon, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Chronal shift.
You already used your reaction technically for the round. Since you used it on the dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, cool.
All you take 12 points of psychic damage as the pain of the shriek kind of echoes through. The stone glowing bright from your hand, you throw it in the face of this dragon. The dragon pulls itself back, reaches its head back as it begins to stomp backwards. That is your action to do that. Would you like anything for your bonus?
My bonus is can I insight on my bonus?
No, you can only use your action to do an insight. Any skill check is an action.
Okay. So then I'll just be end of turn. I'll stay put.
All right, Zell, you're up.
See what's supposed to. Okay. I am going to Tasha's Mind Whip with the dragon.
Okay. All right. So as you throw out the mind whip, reaching through, aimed towards the head of the dragon is the spell. As it is, the barrier ignites. As the spell itself goes to the mind, you see that the barrier begins to fizzle and cackle with purple and pink. Your spell has no effect.
Then I'm going to stand up, which I'm not know. I think I used up half my movement, right? To stand up?
Right. Yep.
Okay. Then I'm gonna run around the corner. Because yeah.
Hey, it's fair.
Okay, I'm just trying.
Big fuck off dragon. Get the hell out of the way.
All right, we come to this dragon. This dragon, pulling its head back, snarls as it does. It begins to backpedal, moving its movement speed as it does. It shifts its body, pulling itself backwards, taking attack opportunities from all those that are within 5 feet. Just you.
Get him, Barlow.
And Barlow on. Well, Barlow is actually technically still at the space. So all of you wanted to take an attack of opportunity, you can.
Here.
8 is going to be a miss as you come wildly swinging outwards, still holding and cresting the stone with the offhand. It begins to continue to pull itself back. It sits in this spot as it does and kind of snaps his head back down as it growls, and this ice begins to form from its mouth as it snarls, "Bear of the White Stone." As it kind of crests itself and kind of snaps a few times as it does, continues to pull its head back. You notice that the eyes itself are aglow more so than they have been before, and it seems to be fixated upon you, particularly the stone. There you go, yep.
Trying to think here. Okay, first off, do I notice my stone doing anything?
No.
And I saw Othala's like lighting up and glowing and being all wiggity.
Yeah, I mean, currently holding it out
Okay.
right.
Well, in that case, knowing that mine is not currently spazzing out in my pocket, I'm not going to try to go for anything. I'm just going to stand up and see if I can't shoot this bad motherfucker in the eye. How do I stand up?
I got you. Half movement speed to stay up. Oh, you figured it out too.
Oh, I just, click the thing. Well, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to, in that case, put on Slayer's Prey, and I'm going to shoot him. Gonna bag me a big bad dragon. Going on my wall, motherfucker.
Okay, 17 as the arrow flies. It goes towards the scales, and as it does, mistime just roughly, but the barrier ignites as the arrow itself catches into the purple and pink lightning as the arrow is dissolved. There is no remnants of the arrow as it dissipates into purple and pink little dancing dots, and then slowly vaporizes.
See that? And I'll yell at Othala. Othala! Looks like your stone's the only thing that can get through that barrier. You gotta open up a passageway and we'll shoot him or something. And I don't think there's anything else I can do, so turn.
Okay, you still have 15. You still have movement speed left. Just FYI.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Run up into its face without a current opportunity of attack? I'll chill with my homies for now.
Okay. All right, Ezekiel, you're up. One second. You can type it out too if you need to.
No, you're good. So I will stand up and dust myself off, and with my mask on, use an action to revert into the appearance of the Duke, take off my mask, and in Draconic speak to the dragon and say, No, I said the tavern, not Thema. What are you doing here?
Okay. Take your action to do that. Kind of snaps and looks towards you. And kind of stares in the direction of you. And just kind of squints. As it does, begins to smile. A very crooked smile with these razor sharp teeth as the frost kind of unfalls from the mouth.
Good. That seemed like it worked. I kind of give a calm down gesture to the rest of the party. That'll be my turn.
Yep. Hey, you're up.
I have no idea what to do. I watched Zell do something and doesn't seem to have done anything. I watched Joe's bow dissolve. Can I even get up to it? I mean, I could. Yeah, I'm gonna come inside the tavern. I would like to use my insightful fighting on it as my bonus.
Okay. Does fail.
I guess I'll try to shoot it with a short bow, just because I don't know if it's. I don't know. I'm gonna try.
All right, 25. As you aim towards somewhat of the under kind of belly of the neck, as it kind of is moving, you kind of time the arrow as it does. It flies true as it does. It goes towards the neck, towards one of the signs, and you're sure that this would hit. You're almost positive that this would hit, that your arrow would find a way to penetrate through, especially with your insightful fighting after cluing in the potential weak spot of this opponent. This barrier erupts. As it sprouts from that section, it grabs onto the arrow right before it penetrates through, breaks it apart into splinters, and then dissolves it rapidly in like split seconds.
I would be confused because I don't know a ton about magic, so I wouldn't know how to deal with that.
Sure.
I'm gonna use some movement to get over this way,
Okay.
and that's it.
All right. They're going to come to the end of round 1. We're going to get to the NPC, so Othala, not necessarily your turn here yet. Come to 2 of the commoners. They're going to both pick themselves up, and they are running for the exit. They are going to take their actions to dash, screaming as they begin to pick themselves up, yelling, "Ah!" Just running as literally as fast as possible. Now we come to Barlow. Barlow staying prone, opens the door. Maybe take cover! Maybe ducks underneath the table. Even opens the door, gets out on the other side. Barlow, what is going on, my tavern? I thought that's your turn.
All right, seeing all of this, I'm gonna look at Thea, and I'm gonna tell her, go downstairs, grab the others, get them out as well, see if anything is recoverable.
Alright, I'm gonna gesture. I understood that.
And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself as I start walking towards the dragon with the gemstone.
Okay. So as you cast the spell, taking the action to use Cure Wounds, your focus and your attention no longer on the stone, still holding it out, flutters, its light. Voice, its compulsion increases as you approach the dragon. Dragon snaps back and looks, still smiling. Looks down as you run. Healing yourself for 11, brought up to 36.
Yeah. Bonus action, be frightened. Yeah, send the turn.
Okay. Alright. Before we come to your turn, Zell, Dragon is taking a legendary action. Retaliation as you approach. Seems whatever hold and fear is somewhat subsiding. Takes this legendary action to wrap its tail around its back and quickly swipe in a swooping attack as it spirals across the room. This attack aimed remotely, primarily at Othala, who's in the range. Othala, as it sweeps by, you kind of duck under cover, splintering into the rest of the chimney, into the tables, as it destroys all, even the bodies kind of crest through the icicle-like scales. You are punctured by the tail, hit by it. In a brief moment, you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage as the tail came through. Zell, please take your turn.
I'm gonna creep up to the door. Oh, that's mine. Okay. I'm gonna walk right here, and I'm gonna cast Message on the dragon, and I'm gonna say, "Oh, hey, buddy! It's been forever. Like, maybe it's just you want to meet up for some alcohol. I mean, just join my favorite tavern. But if you want to meet me for some alcohol, go to the forest, just like nearby. Just go there." Spell whisper.
Okay. You could also just yell at it.
Trying to do it mentally, trying to make it think it's not me.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see what you're trying to do. Okay. Anything else?
It's a bonus action to try and hide, right?
No, it's an action to stealth for you.
Okay, that's just rogue thing. Okay, ending turn.
All right, ending your turn. We now come to the dragon's turn. As it smiles, it looks in the direction of Duke Umbrian Orillo. It sniffs the air. I can smell the stench of a chosen one from anywhere. You don't fool me. As it looks bare of the white stone. Give it to me. As it does, it unfurls its talon. As it does, it pulls itself upright, kind of moving it in the direction of you, Thal, as it lowers it toward you. Or I will kill everyone in this village. And you. Ready, Joe? It's your turn.
Okay. As it's getting close to Athala, am I noticing that energy barrier? Is it attenuating it any way? Is it opening up to accept the stone?
Not as far as you can tell, it's only manifested itself when this dragon has either been marked by a spell effect or be attacked. So technically you can't see it. So you haven't seen any sort of anything from it.
Alright, I have one dumb idea. It's a long shot, but I take out my loot. I'm just gonna start tapping out a tune. Do I notice any kind of rhythm? Is he jiggling his tail a little bit?
No. He stopped responding to you playing the lute. This folks say fixated on Othala with the talon, the palm of it upright.
Alright, well in that
Lowers
case,
down.
seeing that didn't do a damn thing, I'm just gonna run up next to him and see if I can get in range for any kind of future attack or something. Alright, I'm coming, buddy. Don't give it to him. We'll figure something out, get close enough to poke his eyes out or something.
Okay. All right, Ezekiel, it's your turn. You're muted.
I'm gonna go out that door and then action dash on the outside to get adjacent to him within his melee.
Okay. So action dash coming
Bonus
around the
action.
side.
Bonus action, Giant Smite.
Okay.
And then I'm going to action surge and use both of my attacks to try to grapple him.
Okay.
I'll do one at a time, wait. So that's an athletics check, right?
Correct.
Oops, sorry, I have advantage on that, so because the Giant's Might.
All right. First one comes out as a 24. Kind of raising yourself, you grab onto the wing. As you do, the target does appear to be grappled, forming the condition as you are able to grab onto the wing as it slowly kind of perch itself downwards. And so doing and grabbing onto the wing, the barrier itself begins to sprout, coming up from your palm as it begins to trace around. The tickling of the electrical field begins to feel about your skin. It seems to not have an effect as far as you're concerned, as it's beginning to kind of feel and surround your palms and your hands.
Gotcha. And I'm just gonna try to get his attention. Hey, ugly, over here. And as I'm holding onto him with my other hand, I'll try to punch him. Do, 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 do.
$14 does not land. As you're holding onto the wing, it's now moving the wing in response. You come for a swing wild, you swing too low as the wing has picked itself up, and you yourself are kind of lifted off with it as well, kind of lifting you off the ground as it picks its wing up.
That'll be it.
All right. Upon ending the turn, you see, before we get to Thea, this dragon turns and looks at the head and smiles. A show of strength. As it does, it wraps its tail aimed towards you as it swings as a response. It's gonna get a nat 1. Swings wildly as it crashes into the snow, bashing once, twice, and 3 times repetitively into the ground. Large quakes. Does not land as you're able to navigate around that. Yeah, you're up.
All right, I'm going to bonus action Hunter's Mark him.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go down into the basement to make sure, see if there's any survivors down there.
Okay.
And as I'm running down, I'm yelling, "Survivors! Survivors!"
Begin to head down. You can see as soon as you get underneath the space of the tavern, the actual basement has collapsed upon itself. There's no accessible way to get into there, but you do hear voices as the rubble itself is any which way, impeding your travel. It will take time, much time, to be able to remove this amount of rubble and debris. You hear voices. People are calling back out to you.
I think that's my turn because I probably used my movement and my action to get down there.
Okay. Okay. So, before we come to Thala, obviously more of this yelling from people. Now, Thea, you notice there's people kind of moving debris underneath, so the damage itself might not be nearly severe at the basement level because you're kind of hear shifting rocks and other things being moved. You also hear kind of screeches and screams like people are injured, but it's a little bit of a sign of life, potentially. Commoners that were running away, clearing off the map, and then you have Barlow here to pick himself up. Seems to reach underneath the counter and grabs a cleaver. Barlow is holding on to the cleaver and grabs it. Not my tavern! He's gonna go in for a strike with the cleaver aimed at the dragon.
Fuck yeah, Barlow.
He does. Goes in the cleaver, wildly swinging it, missing as he comes across with the cleaver. Dragon ending the tail strike towards Ezekiel. Now snaps looking in the direction of Barlow. What are you doing?
I'm gonna look back at Joe. If I go down, get me back up, buddy. And
Hell yeah, you know I will.
I'm gonna grab the gem and I'm gonna point it right at the dragon's face
Okay.
and do the same thing again.
Please make an intelligence saving throw. Okay. 25. As the compulsion itself is tunneled and vision inside of the stone, your framework becomes centralized, locking eyes with the particular dragon. As the fear overcomes, the dragon begins to pull itself back and retreat. Opposed haste. You take no damage penetrating through your mind as the barriers itself are sustaining, or whatever force is being pulled and magic channeled.
Hell yeah, zap him.
And then that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright, Zelia.
I am now just going to be kind of testing the waters. I'm going to cast some magic missile on dragon.
First missile flies. As it does, it flies into the barrier, sprouting in miniature-looking spots as this purple and pink cackling lightning sprouts from each missile as it connects into the barrier. It does not seem to penetrate through to the scales.
Okay, well, there's 2 more. Is it even worth rolling, or?
Similar fashion as it happens.
Okay. I'm running back out the door. Yes, good luck.
Okay. As you end your turn, we now come to Etherin's turn. It seems to be in a frightened condition as it's ferociously pulling itself back. Ezekiel, you are in tow upon the actual dragon as it's pulling, trying to hold it. As it does, it unfurls its wings to take flight. It does not care that you are holding it any longer. It is going to take flight with you upon it. As it does, it is going to launch itself into the air. The size of this particular creature, and considering of your grapple, is that this creature is actually too large to be able to kind of hold into place with the grapple as it's beginning to pull itself upright. The grapple itself is still held in between that you're able to hold on to it, but you are not able to keep it from moving. And a flight pattern as it's beginning to rise. It is going to now be into the air. As it begins to fly, I have to ask you what you're attempting to do. Are you going to hang on to it, or are you going to let go?
Does it look like it's flying away or just flying up?
Correct. It is pulling itself back. It's pulling up its wings. It is almost moving at a 45 angle as it's fluttering backwards like this, and then is turning to take flight and head in the easterly direction.
If it looks like it's leaving town, I will leave. I will jump off of it. I don't want to go with it, but if it's like just arcing up to like just attack us, I'm going to stay on top of it.
No. It's pulling itself back. It's moving on all fours, and then it's riding its wings. It's moving kind of an angle of like, imagine a helicopter pitching its nose up, so it kind of moves in that kind of perspective. And so the force of the wind is going forward as it's pumping, and then it's turning its body in rotation to continue in the easterly direction.
Got it. So I think Ezekiel would piece together, feel like that creature is leaving and not wanting to ride on a dragon at this moment. Ezekiel will let go of the grapple if he can, using his reaction or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine to end the grapple. You can use your reaction. It's totally fine. So as you end your grapple, I'm going to just put the dragon in space as it's flying off. And at this point, I have to ask, this is 40 feet in the air, but again, moving at that angle, so it's going off the map, I have to ask, is anybody going to continue combat as the dragon flies away?
One thing to say, if we are going to stay in combat, I don't want to fight. I just want to use the combat round since we've only been in combat for 3 rounds and we have 7 left. I want to like just spare the dying on all the people in the tavern because there's like 7 here, so that they're at least alive.
We don't need to keep the
No, I'm saying like no, just for the 7 rounds or whatever, just so it states that it's like still going viable. If everybody wanted to attack, that's what I would be doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's not combat, not keeping with the combat, but taking the time to do spare the dying for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if I come up the stairs and I see the dragon's gone, I have it hunter's marked. I can track it for up to an hour.
Okay. If we're still initiative when Ezekiel falls off, I'm not in my turn, but Ezekiel would not be pursuing.
Okay.
Can I say anything or?
Yeah, no. At this point, I just want to make are we continuing with the engagement or are we disbanding it as the dragon flies away?
Yeah, disbanded. I'm okay with letting it go.
Is there
I'm
any
gonna use
chance that I can run and jump on him as soon as I see him trying to take off? Is he
No.
still grab? I want to ride this dragon, goddamn.
No chance of that. Well,
Shit.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
just,
Zell, you're
I'll
already
just holler
running
out to the group. That's a problem for another day. Let it go.
Man,
I
you
want
have all the
to
luck.
message
I
it
wanted to
to
ride him.
I want to message it and call it a coward as it's running away.
Too
Okay,
far.
your
No.
message. Yeah, like, that's not combat. I mean, let's just flare on top of it. We're in combat.
Yeah.
Go. All right.
Hey, man, why'd you
Does it
let
end
go? You had the
combat?
opportunity.
With the
got
dragon
things to
flying
do.
away, going into the distance, you see as it begins to fly upwards into about 140 feet or so as it's aimed at the easterly direction. It's ascending to an elevation to potentially get through the mountains or over the mountains, kind of cresting them, and it's heading in a direction, and then it slowly begins to kind of turn a little bit, aiming toward using the lower elevation of the actual Frosthorn Pass. It's attempting to use that, and then all of a sudden, it just clouds and snow and flurry, and it's seemingly gone.
Oh,
Oh, you
shit.
Using Spare the Dying, you see as you begin to use that, they become stable one after another as the patrons themselves are being recovered. So I'll just go
And
to
then
1 HP.
Yeah, no, I think no, they go to 0. They're just stabilized. They're still
Yeah,
unconscious.
I'm putting on 1 to get rid of the thing.
Alright,
Yeah, so I don't
yeah,
have to.
after
like,
that, I'll just walk
independently move.
outside into the snow and look at the dragon imprint.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out and I'm gonna be trying to like, even though I can't see it anymore, I wanna like, because I have it hunter's marked, I wanna like be watching exactly where I know it is. If that makes sense.
Yeah, seems to be in flight, going further and further away from you, headed in the easterly direction.
Well, this was
Um,
a sad first encounter with the dragon.
Yeah. If it stops, I would be aware of that too, as long as it happens within that 1 hour time limit.
Yeah.
It's a problem for another day. We
No,
have a very real
I'm not
enemy that
saying
we
go
know that we
after
can
it.
fight
I'm
now.
saying I just want to know where he is, or she is, or whatever.
That was the dragon from my dreams, guys. Just letting y'all know that.
I understand that time is of the essence. We need to pursue the Duke.
Oh yeah,
We need to figure out how
right.
that field works. We need to figure out how to
I-
fix it.
My tavern!
Get your shit together. Help the people here. Get things together. We got things to do. It's Palu anywhere
Barlow,
around.
there are survivors in the basement. Help them.
Okay. Oh.
The Duke could be involved, which means if he is, you could get him to pay for your tavern.
Yeah, he'll pick
We
up
gotta,
the tab.
we gotta go to Palu. He has the horses, right?
He was right outside, I believe, or he was getting there. But I'll run around till I can see Palu. I guess he's supposed to meet us here.
Yeah. So we come. Obviously, this has happened in seconds. We haven't been in this kind of thing ever so often. And I'm just going to put the Palu token down. But Palu itself is here with horses, courtesy of what you all have kind of asked for. And the horses are in tow there. We'll drag them onto the board unless we're kind of needing them. It gets into that situation where if you're kind of the type of player you want to like keep your horse, name your horse, ride your horse in combat all the time, and have that. We'll get to that as we transition in the next sequence here, and we can definitely set that up. So, but I've had parties that literally go through like 45 horses, and it's just
Yeah,
Horses are
I'm not
expensive.
naming my horse. You could eat horses.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna say
need
there's
to
a lot of good protein on a horse.
So as Palu comes out, it's just flabbergasted. The horses are scared, they're frightened, obviously, and kind of calming them down and continue to move them. Thorvik, so the half orc, is there and assisting a couple of the miners as well with the horses. So it's not just Palu here. And then Palu just kind of slowly turns and looks. You know, I have been here for a very long time. I would ask questions, but begins to hand the horses. Everyone's scared, begins to hand horses. I need to go have a drink.
Great, thank you, Palu. Perhaps you can help the people in the tavern as well, and
Yes.
we'll answer your questions when we get back. If we get back. Hey, Palu, listen. If we don't get back, you need to let people know about the Duke.
Of course. Of course. All of my known years. Pushes past in the tavern. Jesus. Oh my Baylor, what is going on? As the miner folk and Thorvik begins to come in, horses provided at this point, handed off. They begin to assist helping things and other sorts of stuff. And Palu kind of runs out and kind of tells Thorvik to go get more help. And it seems that everything is going to be okay in this endeavor for you all to kind of head out and go on the pursuit.
Let's go.
Zell, do your things see Reg out there?
Can
We
I
can't
try to
talk
connect?
them.
But we could try to connect. We can't control them. They act freely, but can we try to connect? I don't know
We
about
could
that.
try to unsummon them, summon them back, and have them relay what they saw.
We got both of them. I could bring Heavy back for right now.
Yeah, let's bring Heavy back, and he gives us the info. Snowy stays out there. That way, if Regmore needs any help, they can help out with all
Alright,
the
cool.
tasks.
So I'll cancel the summon and then conjure Heavy right in front of us.
What's up, Master?
What did you see? What's going on?
They're on horseback, heading south, still in the snow. Saw a wolf. moving pretty fast.
Is it ahead? Was it ahead of you? Did it? Is it behind the two
Which one?
horses? The wolf.
Oh, it's tracking fast.
Okay. And how far are they? In what general direction?
They're pretty far at this point. You have to get on the horses and hightail it south. I can guide you the way.
Okay.
There's not much terrain out there. It's just snow and ice and rock.
How many miles roughly you say?
It hasn't been too long, as far as I can tell. Squints at the sky. I can't count
Keep
very
going.
well.
Yeah, I know. You have thumbs. You have thumbs and fingers. Use them right. I'm teaching you time.
Oh, all right, master. Sounds groovy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fly. Let's go. Lead us.
All right.
Ezekiel, yourself. Let's go.
Heavy flies up ahead.
I'm not good at tracking, but I don't know, Joe, Thea, if you guys can lead the way and.
Follow the monkey.
Ooh.
Follow the monkey.
Follow the monkey.
Yep, follow the monkey. Yep.
Anyway,
The faster we leave, the less time they have to get ahead of us. So,
Yeah.
agreed.
We're going
already
now.
on the horse.
Yeah,
Yes, assume we're all mounting up.
yeah.
I don't see the horses. I'm just assuming I was already on horseback.
Yeah, I was saying I'm not gonna put. I will put the horses down unless you would like the horses in combat.
I want a purple hurt. I want a purple.
I want
hurt.
whatever's going to be a smooth game experience, and I feel like you dropping a bunch of tokens for horses is really unnecessary.
Yeah, it's kind of always my thought. So, by immersion, I don't have horse tokens. Oh, I can't theater of mine. Oh no. Okay,
Imagine that my horse is half unicorn, okay? That's.
half unicorn.
Yeah,
The back
it has,
half.
like,
So it's just a
little-
normal horse.
Oh,
It has a nub. It has
nice one, David. Patches the back
Your
half.
horse, we got both the horse parts.
That's so good. Oh, okay.
That's good.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put down bridge here. Okay. You can move quite fast in the terrain with the snow and other sorts of things. The horse is not necessarily able to keep pace with you. That's just simply how animal gait and the hoof structure and certain paws, which is actually easier than snow and ice and stuff. So
Yeah.
so you are tracking and you're following and you're doing the best you can and keeping a low profile and a stature as you're making way, almost continuing right to keep just the scent. Like you're not really interested in really vision necessarily. You want to keep the scent. You're also on the hoof, and then the trenches. The snow is falling now, so obviously that's causing problems. But your smell is strong, and you have that sense. I'm going to pull you to a map after a great number of hours of travel. Approximately 4 hours have kind of traversed. I'm going to put you at about 4 o'clock, and I'm going to pull you to this particular map and just explain what it is that you are kind of coming up to and kind of seeing in your sight line as you're kind of maybe moving yourself into the thickets or the rocks and continuing to take cover. Traversing 4 hours, you have really, or greater than that, obviously, because you've been tracking for longer, but you have really come across that tributary marked upon the actual continent map where that river itself runs a little bit of ways into the actual bay, this kind of somewhat frozen river as it kind of feeds into the bay. Very small, not very large. And that is in the tradition, kind of traction this horse is kind of following. And what you've noticed is that it's gone onto more of like an entrenched path, and you're seeing that there's wagon wheels within the actual path. So the horse is kind of converged after it moves south and then slightly east, but more south. And it has come across a bridge. So it rode across a bridge, the stone bridge that was built across the river, and then has hightailed it heading directly east through a small pass that seems to be opening up within the actual ridge rock that is kind of protruding from the actual the mountainside. So you're stopping at this point because it's definitely seems like they're reaching a destination right, as they're kind of heading into that pass, and you're looking at the mountainside, and you understand that there's not really anywhere else to go if they go in there. They're just running in to the mountainside through the small pass. There must be something in there, and you can smell it. Now you can smell the thick scents of humanoids, and multiple as the smell kind of lingers out, especially on this particular path. Across the bridge from your perspective here, you can see a wagon that seems to be somewhat turned, and it's entrenched, turned kind of to the side, and then it's entrenched in snow. So there's definitely embankments kind of building up on the wheels and such. There's also bits and pieces of material that's inside the actual wagon, and much of what is actually kind of used in a stagecoach-like design with the kind of that back end has been removed. And you know that because you've seen these particular kind of stagecoach wagons of the Rock Mining Company, and that's what it is, but it's been broken down and parts have been removed from it. Immediately, with your passive perception, there's shifting movement behind the actual wagon, and that shifting movement is a humanoid figure. Too difficult to really see at this distance of what it is exactly. It seemed to converse with the horse rider for a brief moment, but the horse passed in, kind of went around through, and then kind of went east. And so I'm going to just draw exactly what I'm talking about. So the horse went like that.
Yep.
Okay. So at this point, for the rest of you, right, you're still on horseback. You have yet to reach the spot. There's a good half hour, there's roughly half hour, 20 minutes or so, and just getting to this particular spot. As the rest of you are following Heavy. Heavy is kind of moving, flying in the air, doing the best they can, entrenching the path. At this point, for you, Reg, you probably have seen Snowy continue following the horse into the pass. And so Heavy is kind of following the same flight pattern as Snowy and them has kind of followed. And they're now on that entrenched path. You see the hoof prints, but the snow is falling. Heavy is very certain that this is where it was going. It continues down. And at that point, it becomes very much streamlined, and that this path is very well entrenched. And the tracks themselves are moved at a very fast pace. And then even with the snow, Heavy is very certain, especially with the perception that they rolled. So they're continuing down that point. So, Reg, I need to ask you, what are you doing at this stage? Are you continuing to maybe sneak by and get into that small passageway and push on where the horse is going? Or knowing that your party members are going to be in pursuit, and you're kind of at this junction point where you don't know what lies ahead as you're kind of going off the bluff near the bay. And so you're kind of in the open kind of terrain and wilderness area, and you've had good sight lines. In there, you won't have them.
Yeah. So he's going to leave markings in the snow, and not necessarily go inside that pass, but go off to the east on the side of the stream he's on to see if this opens up anywhere else, or if it leads into like the mountain face.
It leads into the mountain face. You can see that there's a cascade of waterfalls as it's traversing in a series of them as it kind of falls through, and that it kind of borders that ridge line as it's crawling outwards for that passage.
All right, then it's going to use the bushes to off to the east and try to get closer.
Okay. Are you going to stay stealthy for this endeavor?
Yes.
Okay. Go and roll stealth from the wolf's character sheet, please. All right, so it's in pause. You can move yourself on the map at this point. As soon as you come into the thicket perching, this humanoid figure begins to round around the rocks, moves towards the frozen river, and it jingles a little bit and begins to urinate. Currently cloaked in some sort of black robe with a cowl over top of the face with a white handprint as it's stomped onto the head. Seemingly, as the robe is cleared, you're able to see that they're wearing a piece of leather armor. They also have a sword at the side, short, and they have thick black boots and a kind of a blouse that kind of sits underneath the armor. And then they're wearing more wool and hide to kind of keep warm, as well as kind of leather gloves over top of the hands. Just from the appearance at this distance, they seem to be young. They are human. They're very kind of just in the bottom half. They're clean shaven and just getting that passive perception. They don't notice you. They continue to do their business, and after that's done, they kind of jangle back around the rock, and they kind of get tucked behind the wagon as they were before.
It's like, I want to get closer, but I don't want to get closer. With him going back around, Reg is gonna try to get across to the other bush, crossing the stream.
Okay.
And he's just gonna lie and wait.
Okay. Lie in wait as you do. You kind of pitch yourself underneath the thicket. Doesn't really notice you. Seems to pull out some sort of musical instrument, like a wood flute. Just kind of begins to play a small little tune and is munching on some rations. And doesn't seem like anything. Through the pass, you can smell the shadows themselves cresting. Noticing the pass is very narrow and is winding. Slightly elevation gain, but not much. You can smell just the sense of humanoids kind of lurking far off as it's kind of wafting. But beyond that, it's not enough to suggest that there's anything necessarily like immediate danger. So you're kind of just holding yourself there in position. At this point, the rest of you on horseback. I'm now going to drag your tokens onto here as we kind of round and get everyone linked up together. Again, I won't be dragging down horse tokens unless we get to that kind of stage, but we'll be activating this particular map. Unpausing it, so you're off map at this point. You're on horseback, you're riding up at a quickened pace, and similar fashion how Reg kind of saw this up ahead, you see it. You see the bridge as it crosses over the river, you see the thickets and the rocks and the other things, and you see that the kind of the ridge line protruding outwards and that opening there, and then you notice the wagon immediately. With passive perceptions from, I believe, let's see if I did my calculations correct. I think it's just there. It's your roll. Passive perception is 20. You immediately recognize that there is shifting movement behind the wagon. That there's potentially shadows and someone that continues to stand up, put the hand into the wagon, sit back down, and that might cause, you to have suspicions at that point. Minimum pause.
Well, there's a defensible position if I ever saw one. What do we want to do, guys?
I want to look and see if Reg's tracks are the same course as the wagon, or if they. Because, like, to me, this looks like a trap, and I don't know if Reg would be smart enough to not.
So, just from the look of it, right? I mean, is it a trap? Is it not? It's difficult to see. I mean, you notice that the bluff itself, the way that this is designed, you can continue to work along the bluff headed further south, like the bay is towards your west, right? The actual cliffside, a couple miles. So, this is just a spot that it seems that has an opening to get into the mountains in a way, versus what you've seen before. Is the rocks in the mountainside towards your east have been very sharp, and they're very couple miles out. This is like a protrusion that kind of extends outwards, and it's almost as if the entrenched path and making your way across, kind of in this design, is very intentional. It seems that there's, in the way that it's kind of brought and kind of swoops into that particular kind of passageway that you can notice that heads into the east off the map. I don't know you can roll a perception check if you want to try to see the prints. If you're expecting Reg to be a wolf and see the prints, and attempt to say, hey, would they go through this? Would they not? That'd be difficult. I mean, you'd have to roll perception to see if you see them. In general, you might have to roll a survival check for tracks to see if they've kind of made their way, and then maybe an investigation. So it depends on how you're looking at the situation.
Well, whatever you're doing, Thea, I'll tap her on the shoulder real quick. Guidance.
I'm gonna try and see if I can communicate with Snowy if they're nearby.
You could roll a d4 on an ability check.
Try to communicate to Snowy. There's no response.
Yeah, no, I want to follow Reg's track specifically because he's the one we want to meet up with.
Roll survival, please. "14, the guidance, kind of in tracing the pods. You notice that the pods made their way nearby this particular area, and they seem to disappear as they make round into the thickets. But beyond that, you cannot see where they've gone."
Picking up a direction there, Thea?
Looks like it goes over this way, but then I lose it. You're better at this than I am.
Yeah, can I go ahead and roll survival as well? See if I can pick up any other further signs.
Sure.
And my dice rolls are so bad.
Similar thing. Still on horseback. You're still off map. Shifting of movement continues behind the wagon. Reg, at this point, this figure is seemingly grabbing, and you hear a voice kind of come out and like, "Oh, I'm not expecting anybody else." Slowly begins to rotate around the wagon.
I think we're wasting time here, guys. I think we should have to go ahead.
Reg's gonna jump out on top of. How tall is this rock between me and the wagon?
It's roughly 11 feet tall, and has a gradual inclination and slope in the way it does. You can get up to that 11 feet. So once you're on top of it, it's 11, but it's normal terrain.
Reg's gonna jump up on top of that, and issue a look down at the humanoid and growl menacingly towards it.
Okay. All right. So at this point, you all on horseback see the figure has kind of unveiled themselves, coming outside of the wagon. So even all of you with your passive perception is able to see. So you're maybe, I'd imagine Dirty Joe, as will stay probably off to the side a little bit off the entrenched back and looking through the tracks, trying to discern them. And then the rest of you with passive perceptions, you see the figure, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the figure's kind of pulling themselves and looking in the direction of you lot, there's a wolf on top of the rock. This large wolf. Figure immediately snaps over and looks. I need everyone to roll initiatives.
Just as a point of order, DM, I do still look like the Duke because I haven't changed that. Whatever that's worth to you.
Okay, so you still want to look like... All right, that's fine.
I haven't used an action to change it, so I still look like the Duke.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Totally fine. We could change. I mean, if you're gonna be the Duke for a while, we could always change your character art as well. The token.
This has been a weird 4 hours with Ezekiel.
Let's take over the Duke's role and become the Dukes of Iraq now.
That's like a good short story. A weird 4 hours with Ezekiel.
All right. So coming into combat as we begin here. Looks like we got Dirty Joe up first. Dirty Joe currently on horseback. Reminder that you're on horseback, your movement speed is increased. So you will essentially move at the speed of a horse. So these are just riding horses. They have movement speeds of 60 feet.
Alright, seeing that he's distracted, I just dig my heels in. Yeah! Let's get into range, fellas! I'm gonna just charge across the bridge. And can I actually see this guy around the wagon? Do I have a clear shot?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of towards the kind of bench side of the stagecoach, and he's kind of backing up currently.
Alright, seeing he's distracted, I'm just gonna shoot him in the back.
Nat 20 on the road, the horse fires it off. Oh my, 27 points of damage to the sharpshooter on? What is Alright, so hold on. Alright. This is gonna play out. This
No, it
is
isn't.
so alright, hold on. This is so funny. Okay, so Drury Joe, you begin to ride outwards like a Mongolian Hun. You're like a Magadai, right? Those are the horse archers. Just kind of fire the arrow in mid-stride. Goes directly into the head of the humanoid figure. There's the large thunk. It's backtracking. What is the kind of? And then all of a sudden the arrow flies into the head through the ear, goes out the other side, so it's halfway through, right one side, halfway through this, and it's just this target is dead. Combat is over.
Hell yeah.
Good job, Joe.
Go back home, folks.
That's funny.
All right, so I'm just gonna walk over, inspect
What
this
the
area,
fuck?
and say hi to Reg. Hey, Reg, I found you, buddy. Man, do we have a story for you?
There's
There's a dragon.
Drury Joe taking off. That's so messed up. Alright.
The guy didn't even get a second to say anything and just turned around, had a direwolf like growl at him, then got an arrow through his ear.
Imagine what he
Goddamn
says in the
right.
afterlife. He's like, I don't know. I guess I was frightened to death.
Like in the layers of hell, and he's like, so how did you die? I have no idea. I just saw a direwolf.
I want to go through his stuff, see if he has any information on him.
Sure.
Wasn't there
you
a
just-
second person? Or do we see any signs of them?
So, investigation 21. Obviously, dismounting Drury Joe, you're investigating as well. So, you can help each other if you want instead of rolling once. Regmore, I will state I went ahead and made some leniency with the wild shape timing of how
Yep.
long you can actually be wild shape, just for the sake of the sequence. So, at this point, I'm probably going to state that your wild shapes are expended. Both slots are. So, you have no more wild shapes, and you're probably returning back to your.
Yep, no worries.
All right, so taking separate checks, 21 and 7, they begin to kind of thumb through the body. Again, wearing common leather armor. It seems to be loosely strapped together. Short sword is crude, and it is kind of just poorly made. The figure, on looking and investigating the body further, again, the robe and the cowl, the way it's one piece and comes over the head, you kind of pull that back. You notice they're human with kind of wavy brown hair, kind of to the mid-ear. They're kind of dirty upon the face, towards the brow line. Their eyes themselves are brown. They're kind of a clean-shaven. They resemble roughly 16 years of age. So the human that's 16 years old. They are kind of have a kind of that blouse that's underneath. It's made of cloth and wools, right, and the hides. They are seemingly a commoner. There's nothing about them that would stand out to you as anything beyond somebody that's wearing a particular robe, cowl, and has a leather armor and a sword. You also find a kind of a small leather purse upon them. Roughly 6 gold pieces in this purse. There is a backpack that leans against one of the wagon wheels, as well as another backpack inside. One of the backpacks just has food inside, dried rations and those sorts of things. And then the second backpack actually has supplies to light a fire. So there's a lot of kindling, pieces of wood. Many of them are actually bits and pieces of carts, some mining, the actual wagons that the Rock Mining Company has. You notice the symbol is actually ingrained, not ingrained, but is stamped on to the actual wood to burn it. The Rock Mining Company symbol upon this wagon. And you're really just finding that fire starting, the food, and then the coin pieces. So there's nothing else about them.
Nice shot, Joe. That was great.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that was
It's one of my
badass.
better ones, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, you should just do that from now on.
I will definitely try.
Yeah, that horse is your best friend. They make your arrows just fly straight through your ears.
Hell yeah. Now, I'm not going to name it, though, in case we have to eat it later if we're lost in the woods, but he's my new friend.
Oh, guys, Reg is here.
Yeah,
I
we
know.
gotta
What's
go.
up, buddy?
Reg,
Yeah.
you can hop on one of the horses with us. We gotta start moving.
Yeah,
You can't stay here.
Yeah.
There's some
That-
signs for the other ones.
The horse and rider went through the pass.
All right, just give me one moment, and Ezekiel's going to take off his cloak, put that in his bag, and take the robe of this individual off and put that on. put on the mask, take the mask off, and now he looks identical to this individual that Joe just hit, with some guesswork of where the arrow went in and out of the other side.
Okay.
This is
He has an eye
look
patch.
convincing.
Yep, looks pretty good.
Good enough.
Hey, Reg, you still got that super dragon killing sword?
Yeah? What
Oh,
took
man,
you
that's-
so long?
It's what you call
Well,
ironic.
dragon.
We was fighting a dragon, yeah.
How'd that go?
It ran away with the best.
Honestly-
It's a coward. It was a coward.
It
Better
was
than
scared of
expected.
my rock.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know dragons were afraid of rocks, but apparently.
They also don't really care for music much.
Might have went better with a, dragon slaying greatsword, but
Next
Yeah,
time.
Or I
Now we know.
lost my hunter's mark. Did it, like, I've noticed if it stopped or...
It did not stop. It continued to fly head east.
Things are fast, so it must be pretty far away.
Based on Hunter's Mark and the way that you can ascertain, and based off it and the map as well, your intelligence is quite high, as well as some of your checks. Passively, seems that this dragon entered into the Frostford Valley and continued to fly east.
Okay. I'm gonna let everybody know that. I'm still just staring at this dead kid.
He was a child.
So-
Oh, no,
But-
child, that was on my first posse on 14. You know what he was getting into.
Yeah, I can agree. 16 is too young to die. 16. Anyway, so do you guys want to go hunt that dragon at some point? Like, I mean, we know kind of where it's going.
Definitely
yes,
yes.
but
Let's
we
catch
do
up
not have
with
time
it.
for that.
We're talking while we're on the horses
We
going.
need to
that way,
find
right?
out what the Duke was doing. We need to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon's still flying. I can't find it right now.
Well,
So-
say, Joe, I'm sure you two can, working together, can find it again. Besides, it's
Damn
not
right.
hard to miss.
Onward and Dukeward.
Yeah, do we have any specific plan?
Where's Dukeward?
I'm assuming going up through the pass, yes. There's not really any other direction to go.
Yeah. We follow the owl.
Do we want Ezekiel to be in the front? We kind of stay a bit behind him since he looks like the kid? Or move in his group?
Well, yeah, I guess we could have him lead.
Yeah, because I mean, maybe he could lead maybe not 100 feet. I mean, we're on horses. Yeah, let's say like 60 to 100 feet in front. So
As
that
long as
way,
he's at the head of the party.
If
Gives
other
us a few-
people come
yeah,
up,
gives
just
us a
try to
few
stay out of
seconds.
eyesight. But be close enough you can react.
yeah, we're on horses.
And I will move ahead of the column and attempt to see what I see.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna
as you
fix the kid's clothes and kind of prop him up against the wheel.
We'll give him burial later. Probably. Yeah.
Stare for a minute and then follow the
right. So the passageway itself, yeah, it begins to wind. As it does, it gets very narrow at times, just wide enough for a wagon or a horse, two side by side. You notice the actual prints themselves are there. The snow, it's kind of falling down. The sun kind of pitching. The cliff sides continue to grow in a very dramatic fashion. They're craggly and ice scape around. Creates a very kind of closed feeling. The wind slowly subsides as it does. It kind of just dies down. It's almost non-existent as you come into a small miniature-like valley. Roughly 20 feet or so, you begin to walk. You get onto this particular map. Go ahead and activate it. And as you are not walking on horseback, right, you can see that this valley kind of extends north, it extends south, and it somewhat subsides in the kind of a bowl-like effect. So it's almost kind of this natural formation of this miniature-sized valley as the bowl-like effect works itself into the rock, into the mountainside. So here and here, this is just mountainside that extends high up into the expanse, reaching 140 to 150. It just continues to vault itself in sheer angle as it kind of climbs upright. The notable thing here is that there is a wagon supposedly here, it's completely stripped. I mean, there's just many bits and pieces that have been removed. There's also boot prints and other things nearby that seem fresh. You're kind of looking at them. They're a range of different sizing. Nothing is really too kind of similar about them. All of which kind of note that the boot prints are going into the door. There's also a horse. This particular horse was the same horse that was being rode by the two cloaked figures. It's currently tied off to the thicket very haphazardly. It's almost pulling itself. It's almost kind of getting off of it. And it's nearly actually just detached from the actual thicket itself. Now, in space and range, just to give you kind of an idea, if we went about 80 feet to the north and 80 feet to the south, you would run into the cliff sides of the ridge that protrude and form the bowl-like effect. If you headed again 20 to 30 feet or so to the west, you would reach this small pass as it begins to wind in that space. The structure in front of you is roughly 12 feet tall, and it's made of bricked stone. It's solid, with a stone door with kind of just a rusted wrought iron handle that seems to be very old and decayed. I mean, the door itself is slightly unhinged, even with stonework and actual metal brackets or hinges. The tiling is stone, and it seems to kind of come outwards towards you and form a little bit of a kind of an overhang about the structure. There is a slight foundation, but it is completely covered by the snow and the ice, suggesting there could have been a staircase at one point that led up to the actual door. The building is into the mountain. So the actual northern southern walls and potentially the east wall is inside of the mountain, just kind of protruding outwards towards you. Everything about the structure and the way that the roof is, there's bits and pieces of snow and ice covering it, and with the actual kind of overhang, you can see a lot of the stone is broken off at this point, suggests that this is extremely old, that this has been here for a long time, and that it has seen no renovation or updates in that time.
Okay, first things first, we're taking the horse on our way back. You remember that. Since that is the Duke's exclusive horse, it's probably pretty valuable. So we
I'm
need
just
to know.
gonna
You have
walk
weird
up to the horse for
priorities.
this thing. I'm gonna just walk up to the horse. Hey there, horsey. Did they leave any juicy bits of gossip behind on you, person? I'm just gonna check it out and see if I can find anything that looks either valuable or important.
Can we not check that on the way back?
We might get
Well, I
information
mean-
from the building.
Well, guys, before we go charging in this extremely fortified building, let's see if we can pick up any information we can.
All right,
Knowledge
quickly
is
then.
power.
We want to see if maybe there's an entrance on top of these cliff things.
I don't want Elise to die. I think we need to move as quickly as possible.
Yeah, let's go.
But I don't think they're gonna kill her immediately. If they didn't kill
Reg,
her,
is that a door? Open it.
At first, did I find anything cool on the horse?
Reg will try to open up the door, and if it's locked, he'll knock.
This is
What?
locked.
No, are you knocking?
The door is locked as you try the handle to turn it. It doesn't seem to turn. Coming to the horse, there's Joe, who has a couple saddlebags. You begin to look into them. You're noticing that there are fine silk lining these saddlebags, exquisite leather that they've been crafted with gold and silver tinge. The not barding, but just the saddle itself, as well as the leather. It's priceless. It's just immaculate. The horse is well groomed. It's actually braided in its mane. It's taking time. Noticing the hoofs themselves, freshly horseshoed. There's just all about this. The saddlebags have been cleared. There's just nothing in them. Not in the sense that stuff has been like removed out of them recently. Just nothing's been loaded in.
All right then. Come on back for you later, buddy. I'm gonna get quite a few good meals off of you. I'm gonna sell it, not eat it, guys. Don't worry.
Okay, great. For a second, I was worried.
It's 13 burgers.
So Regmore,
Hell yeah.
after trying to hail you, go to knock. So you see Regmore immediately going to knock on the door. Does anybody do anything about that?
I grab his hand with
I'm
mage
not
hand.
like him.
Yeah, mage hand his hand from. Don't do that.
Yeah, I could
What?
try to pick the lock if you want.
Don't do that. We're stealth, Reg.
Pick it.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your thieves' tools. $22. You find a small grooving underneath the handle, kind of a pin. It's easy enough, just kind of slide the pin in, turn it, and hear kind of a click.
All right, so I'm gonna open the door, but I'm not going in first. I'm backing up.
Okay, I see what's going on.
Yeah, of
Right.
course you both just walk in.
As you come inside, you see that there are numerous barrels and crates that are covered in cobwebs and kind of debris of different kind of rodent droppings and such. Cobwebs built over the kind of wooden beams that help support the stone structure as well as the heavy rooftop. There's no real pillars or anything that kind of brace the ceiling. It's just kind of in its design, using the mount as an anchor. It seems to kind of maintain itself in composure. Upon the
By
actual
the gods, they
crates-
turn people into.
Just go for it.
I'm inspecting.
By
this-
the gods, they turn people into crates.
That's amazing.
I'm
No.
in front of me because I think it's a hidden door.
All the crates
Yeah,
have all the crates have Rock Mining Company labels. Many of them have been opened. They've been cracked with crowbars or other sorts of tools. So the nails and actually things are falling around, and the contents of them have been cleared.
Do I notice anything in this room that looks suspicious in any way? Because I'm remembering that trap door I saw before.
Nothing with your passive catches your eye.
I think we should set everything on fire and see if anything hidden comes out.
So,
Do an
Not to
investigation.
say explosive.
Let's not do that yet.
No, fire, not explosive. Fire will burn away any wood.
No, the point to the boxes that say explosive.
There are boxes that say explosive.
Yeah, you can see them if you look at the map.
Okay, I'm taking them. They're mine now. These are going in my bag. These are going.
And can you carry those?
they're all empty. He said everything was empty.
Yeah,
here.
everything's empty in here, I think. Can I do a more generalized investigation to see if
Sure.
I find any like secret entrances or whatever?
Go ahead and roll. You don't find anything. So you thumb around, picking up
Okay,
crates, looking under
Still
tiles.
messed up, guys.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna cast detect magic in this area.
Okay. Nothing magical is detected.
Yeah, I kind of thought there would be like an illusion or anything, but all right, it's nothing here.
And Joe, the traps came to this door.
I mean, yeah.
Actually, into this
Walk
door.
right in.
I'm gonna try lift up this kind of crate in front of me. Like lift up
I
and
will
move
eat
it
popcorn while I watch Zell try to lift something.
The crate itself is slightly empty. It's filled with wooden debris and other sorts of splinters. And you're able to kind of lift it up. You look underneath, and you see a dead rat.
How dead?
Oh, it's dead.
Like
Petrified.
decayed dead or like
Oh, yeah. It's been
Oh.
petrified for a long time.
no snacks for Joe?
Okay. So it's
I'll
not
just
here.
go see if I can see anything, any kind of hidden doorway or cracks in the walls or anything that might be pried open.
Okay. Roll an investigation. 11. Can thumb through. You don't find anything.
Well, hell, where else could they have gone?
Can I try one now? I guess I tried one.
Sure.
Everybody's looking around.
Sure, let's all try one.
Can I make an investigation check to see if there's any parts of the room that have had more footsteps there? Like, for example, it seems like there's people have been like moving stuff or like touching. Like, generally, it seems a bit more worn down and used. So, like a part of the room like that.
Ezekiel's slowly losing the intelligence.
Oh!
So go ahead and make a survival check or a perception check, please.
Ezekiel's like,
Turn people into crates. Holy shit.
It's a 10.
Survival of 10, you notice that the boot prints, as far as the tracking of snow, you notice there's bits and pieces of dirt and debris, and a path that seems to line up with this.
Red's just gonna go off to the north side of the building to look to see if there's any foot traffic or anything leading out towards the ridge lines.
Okay. Looking around, you don't see anything fresh. You see, obviously, the horse next to you, and you continue to move there. As you kind of come around to the kind of the trio of boulders over here as you're looking. You're noticing that there are small kind of bits and kind of smoke almost billowing, and you can look in that direction, and it seems as though there is some sort of borehole. The smoke itself is kind of blowing it out. Now, the actual circumference of this is extremely tiny. Adjacent to that, slightly 20 to 25 feet to the northeast, you see nearby a couple of thickets this is surrounding. As you're kind of looking, you make your way to there, and you see that there are 24 frozen bodies that are dead and currently covered up inside of the actual thicket under snow and ice.
This thicket right here?
No, way off. It's off the map.
Oh, okay.
The actual smoke is coming from that, like in the central of those boulders. So it seems to be some sort of kind of borehole or some kind of extension or protrusion from the earth with some stone, and then billowing out smoke.
Oh, what does any kind of scent that smoke's giving off?
Smells like wood.
Hey, Theo, Joe, do you guys want to check out this part of the wall? It looks like he walked this way.
Wait, so yeah, I saw those tracks.
Yeah,
There's
like
that rat under the. Hold on, maybe the rat's like a trap door or something. I'm gonna lift it
I
up and
see
see if I
maybe
can
like
grab
one of
it.
the bricks opens up into a door. Like if we tap a brick, maybe like the wall will open up, or like
I got it, and I would
Alright.
just Spartan kick the door or the wall where they're saying.
I pick up the rat. Does anything happen?
Pick up the rat. Nothing happens. Ezekiel moves over. Spartan kicks. Roll a strength check, please.
I don't got it.
Let's see. Brace.
I didn't
As soon
quite
as
plant
that
my foot
happens,
right.
You hear a voice
What?
coming from inside yelling, "What the fuck was that?"
I think we got the right door. Let's kick again.
Well, no. Hide.
Hiding.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide.
Behind the crates.
And I'll stay in the doorway. Just give me a moment.
I'm hiding behind the explosive barrels.
You're hiding. Please make a stealth check.
Red, hide.
Yeah.
Wow.
Solid
In front of my
years
screen,
from
you can't see the
existence.
stealth.
Athala
I-
is hidden from God.
I teleported again.
Oh no.
You teleported.
Yeah, crit on the stealth.
There you go. All right.
Is he safe?
Shuffling of movement begins to happen. You hear a gear winding slowly, and then a space in the eastern wall opens. Shifts. Oh, it's you. Hey, what's up?
Oh, thank the gods. They're here. I people in armor and holy symbols. I think Palor, maybe paladins of. I don't know. There was some lord with them. They're camped out by the river.
Roll performance
Performance.
or persuasion. Either you can do performance, persuasion, or deception. Your choice. I mean, you're deceiving, but they don't really know you're deceiving because they're believing you. But it's kind of a performance at that point. You're very elaborate thing. No, you can roll.
You tell me when to roll. I'll roll it.
Yeah, roll deception or persuasion. Your choice.
We'll roll deception. I have advantage.
17. Gavin, are you okay? Pushes the crate out of the way.
No,
Comes through.
there's so many of them. I mean, they're out there having, I think camping or planning or something over by the bridge. But I think they know we're here.
Did they follow you here? Did they follow you?
I don't think so, but I think that they know something. So I overheard them saying something about a horse they were following.
Jeez, must have followed Master. Oh, come on, we got to get a dark one quickly. Follow me.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go get a dark one.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can sneakily follow him through without anybody noticing because their backs are turned.
Same.
The
Yeah, I
backs
was
of
gonna
the
do that.
backs of these ones are not turned.
So
I
yeah.
I'm
head
just-
around the door and just like,
Creaking.
You could hear that they're now kind of pushing forward a little bit and looking through is what they're doing, and they're kind of doing that to get the door shut. Now with the
Yeah, you
stealth
got
checks, 25 and 22, I also have a nat 20. Zell, you had a 12. You notice
Oh,
that
it's very
they're,
far away.
you know that they're kind of moving towards the door, and you see your gears winding, and the door shuts. Oof. So now they kind of move, and they're beginning to talk amongst themselves. Whispers is all you hear on that side of the wall. Ezekiel, what you can understand, how they're talking and framing. What do we do? Are we supposed to fight? I don't know. I don't want to fight. I'm not really a fighter. It's not my thing. I just came here for the good food and the coin. It's just, see you heading for the staircase.
I will follow him because I'm now in it. So I'm gonna practice my best Zell and keep lying until I find a solution.
Begins to round
Yeah.
around the staircase. So in the cavern itself, the ceiling height is a varied ceiling height. It's craggly. There's a few different pillars that are kind of surrounding themselves around stalagmites, supporting the cavern ceiling, roughly about 32 feet or so. It's built inside of a natural cavern that forms within the mountainside. There is definitely signs that this was potentially a kind of a staging ground for a mine, potentially, because you're noticing there's different veins of other sorts of materials, such as iron and the actual rock. There is a pool of water where they blasted outwards, and so now it's filled with drainage and drips from the actual snow melt that comes through the ceiling. The crates and bedrolls and fires and the tables suggest they've been living in here, and they've been kind of just eating and enjoying themselves and kind of having merry. The staircase itself is out of stone. It's built into the bedrock and seems of great construction about this. It's very well designed in the way that you're kind of now spiraling down into the depths. This is going to take time as you come through. Whispers and voices are heard. I have to ask, what is the rest of the party doing?
Othala, do you still have that spell that changes the size of objects?
No. Nah.
Okay.
That's- I don't have that spell, to be honest. I think that's a Reg, right?
Oh, is that Reg?
Yes.
gosh, should
Can we
we
shrink
bang on
this
the door?
wall?
And...
Like this wall? Can we shrink this segment wall? Just get through.
Hold on. Can I like actively look at this wall because now I've seen it open to see if I see any kind of anything to open it?
Yeah, so taking your time, you don't need to make a check. As you've seen it open, you can hear the gear winding. You begin to search for a loose stone or kind of a footing. You don't find anything, but you do find that there is just a small looking crack through. And knowing how you unlock the door to begin with, using kind of your tools to kind of go through a pin and then click, you kind of just take a leap of faith and you push that pin through and you're kind of thumbing through and eventually goes into a groove of some sort, as you can feel coming up and down within the separations of the brick stone. And you're in a groove. And you imagine if you continue to turn, such as a key, it will activate some sort of mechanism to have that functioning of the gear.
Okay. Before I do that, I have no idea if there's people on the other side of this wall.
You can hear voices. They're whispering to each other.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know how
it's
many
here.
there are.
So we could all back up and she could open the door and it looked like it just opened on us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll open the door. Somebody be ready to.
Reg is gonna pull out the Dragon Slayer
Wait,
greatsword.
guys.
I'm
Should
already
we
a
just-
spell.
They're not expecting us right now. They don't know we're here. What if we just charge through the second you get that thing open? We can
No,
take
I know
out as
that's
many
what
as
I'm
we could.
saying. You
Otherwise-
be ready to do that as soon as I open the door.
Well, I was
I'm
you guys,
whispering
sneak
this.
in and
Don't
stab them in
hide.
the back before we. Because, again, she's invisible. She could sneak up behind them, stab in the back, then we all go in. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well,
So what do
if
you
somebody's
think?
looking at
Sneaky
the door, we
approach?
can't sneak.
So as you
Sneaky
all are
approach or
having a
just bonsai?
conversation just on the other side of the wall, as they are just on the other side of the wall, you hear an ear perk up. Are they in there? Shh, just shut up. Don't say anything. They stop talking. At this point, we're going to pause your side of the conversation. And Ezekiel, as you begin to round down, I'm going to go ahead and pull you to a scene. Then I'm going to describe to you what you're kind of seeing. So as you begin to spiral down, it seems that you have descended roughly about 20 or so feet as you spiral through into a stone chamber with a kind of a 9 to 10 foot ceiling height, and it's very craggly right up the bedrock itself, as you can see, and it has remnants of like metal, like almost as if these like ringlets have been kind of put into, suggesting for like spelunking or other endeavors that they've used for maybe like hoists and kind of holding themselves upright and things. What you can notice as you come down, running around the staircase, is it kind of descends rapidly down. Right at your backside, the staircase continues and ascends. Right, there is a room here to the north, and this particular room has some sort of altar that is there. There is a skull upon it with a handprint of white, and it's kind of there, and it's very crude. And there's these candles with skulls, with like kind of giving some ambiance of light. About that. There's two of these similar figures. They're actually having a conversation currently about themselves in that space. There's a book there. There's a scroll. It's just very awkward. And then there's a door to your west, a door to your south, and a door to your east. Two of the doors, the one to the west and one to the south, don't have any handles really. They seem to just kind of maybe just get pushed. That's how they open, right? So it's all different doors. But the one to your east resembles that of the door that you entered into the actual mining house that was there, suggesting that one could actually be locked with that wrought iron handle and that design, seeing kind of Thea unlock it. So suggesting the door to your east could be unlocked as you round through and you're brought to this space. You can see that door. Okay. So this particular character referring to as Gavin is actually aimed to go towards the altar, kind of pursuing through, stepping into the space. You notice there's these.
Sorry, did you say his name is Gavin, or he's referring to me as Gavin?
Referring to you as Gavin. So he's been calling you Gavin, isn't it, to speak their name, right? So there's no reason to state their name.
Yeah.
Just kind of pulling you through and moving as possibly. Mentions to the two figures here, "Get out of here. Do you not know what's happening? We're under attack. We have to signal for the master. Dark One. Do you not Oh, one of them's a dwarf. Oh, yes. I'll let the dining hall know." Begins to run through, heading towards the door to the west, opening and disappearing. The other one looks, seems to be a half-elf. Is there anything I can do to help? No, we need a signal for a Dark One, that's it. He begins to make way to the altar, comes up to it, sidesteps towards and turns and looks. When you've been talking to, makes way to the altar, slightly 4.5 feet in height. Interrupt anytime.
Yeah, I should tell you something else I had overheard. They said they have a spy on the inside. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I haven't. The spy on the inside looks towards the half-elf. Shaking the head, raising the hands up.
Yes, I heard bits, the tundra, the wind blowing, but something about somebody that's been here for a long time. That's been playing some type of game, been spying for these people. Do you have anybody that you would think that would betray the master?
There are some that are not as devoted as others here, but we need to inform a Dark One. They would be able to snuff him out.
Is it possible that one of these could be working with them?
It's impossible. The Dark Ones are servants of Tainarok. There's no way.
My head's just so. Sorry, I'm so scared.
It's all right. Did they hit you or something, Gavin?
No, I'm okay. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I didn't fight them, and I thought it was smarter to let you guys know what was happening.
Okay, Gavin, I've heard stories. Talthars can be ruthless, kill anything and all. Remember, we're devoted to the Third Reckoning.
Yes, of course, the Third Reckoning.
Stand by your rights and your oaths, and it'll be fine. Trust me. Dark Ones.
Yes.
Can't.
Yeah.
We'll get one, and they'll help you. Don't worry.
Good.
Pulling out the short sword, grabs it to the hand and cuts the hand, sheaths it.
Do I see anybody else? Just me and these other two people?
That's all you've seen thus far. You did know that the door to the west of that common chamber, it did open and disappeared. There was lots of light coming from that western door, which is here, and voices as well, suggesting that there is a dining hall as stated by that character.
All right, I'll let it happen. I'm too exposed.
It's your call. I mean, anytime you want it. This happened in real time.
No, I'm too exposed, and I'm not in contact with my team, so I'm going to let it happen and just try to lie my way out of it.
All right. Puts the hand upon the skull. As you do, you see the swirls of the skull begin to envelop the black etherealness as it does. You see that the figure holding the thing. We're under attack. It's the Talthars. They're here. You see his eyes slowly just kind of disappear. Sees this figure, this human that's been escorting you, pulls the hand back and kind of clenches it together, grabs a bit of the robe, and attempts to stop the bleeding. They'll be here soon. It'll be all right.
Good. What should we do? Anything to prepare?
No, we're just staying here and go do what they do. So they'll have answers. I don't know. This never happened before. They gotta have something, right?
Yeah, of course.
We pause it. As we pause, we're gonna end that conversation. We'll come up. Obviously, the whispers appear. The rest of the party, they have stopped and subsided. Hearing you all talk just on the other side of the wall.
Reg is going to
I'm invisible, apparently. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought she was
Oh,
gonna
maybe
try to run
invisible.
in while Ezekiel was talking to them, so I made her invisible. That way, maybe she could go with it. But yeah.
Perfect. Once you open that door, charging in.
I'm just opening the door because I heard them stop talking. I know they know now.
Yeah, I was readying a spell as well. Before.
Right. Yeah,
I'm just gonna ready a firebolt. So if there's someone on the other side of the door, I'll mail them.
Yeah,
Reg will tap
I'm
on the-
whispering. Listen, guys, I'm gonna whisper. Open the door. I'm moving to the side, so don't worry about hitting me. And
Alright.
I'm opening the door.
You swing open the door, see figures in front of you slowly turning and looking. What is this? Reg, you take a step forward. I'm going to go ahead and pause it as we're going to roll initiatives.
Does a ready spell go off before initiative or on turn order?
You cannot. Technically, you have not necessarily caught these figures by surprise. So they have been they were warned of your presence. They heard the voices on the other side. They had suspicions already given by one party member spoken about that the Talthars were here. They're anticipated that something like this would happen at that point, and hearing your voices only kind of furthered that suspicion of that intention. And regardless of you readying something to be done, you didn't have any line of sight, nor did you know any sort of targets on the other side, so you couldn't designate anything besides an AoE, and even then you didn't know the landscape of what was inside there, unless briefly opened by Ezekiel catching that little glimpse. So in
I
this,
do want to add on, Raw, that you cannot ready anything outside of combat. It's only an action that you can do in combat, according to Raw, but however Michael rules it, but you can't ready something outside of combat.
Oh, okay.
yeah, unless if there's a situation where you're having surprise and you're wanting to ready something and predetermine what they're doing, in a kind of a frame of mind of being like, oh well, I need to chase this person down, I need to catch them, so if they're gonna run, I can ready something. But all that really does is trigger the combat. That's really all you're telling me is that you want to go to combat at that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say before the door was open. Reg was gonna tap on it with the great sword to yell out to the people inside, to lay down their arms, and they will be spared.
You do that right now as you barge in.
Yeah.
So you're barging in. So we'll get to that on your turn as you step forward. Initiative is rolled, so you can definitely get to that if you're going to attempt to do a persuasion or intimidation at that point. So we're going to get right into combat here as we start. I'm going to also cue some music here as we get going. So obviously this is kind of paused for you, David, below, but not to say that you won't hear what's happening above and that things might end up being queued up for you as well in that regard. So I'll have to cycle back and forth. We come to Othala with round one. You're up.
Okay, big spell play right now. I'm gonna upcast Hold Person on the two closest to Reg.
Well, there's 3 in the same distance to Reg. So
I think I can only target 2 people though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's but oh, you can't see
Oh
see
yeah,
one of them. That's
I can't
fine.
see the other way.
Yeah, I got you. You good?
2 in the front, 2 in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
So
to the front. Gotcha. I had to look at your line of sight. I was like, okay, that's fine.
third level spell slot.
Okay, so it's gonna throw it onto one, and then I'm gonna roll manually the other one. Okay, so you are concentrating against the one to the south has failed, so I'm gonna go ahead and tack onto that effect. But the one on the north side that you casted the spell, that one has succeeded on the saving throw.
After that, that's is it bonus action to dampen heavy? I think it is. Yeah. With the bonus action, I'll bring is it an action or a bonus?
Are you talking about when you're summoning your familiar?
Yeah. Is it an action or a bonus action to bring it? Because it's already summoned.
Well, I assume Heavy was already out in the field of play.
All right. So then, if he's out in the field, then I'll tack him onto Joe and give him advantage on his first strike.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right, so Joe, you're being helped by Heavy with the strike here. Zell, Snowy was not here, FYI.
They never passed by me and decided to join up, or
Nope. You didn't see Snowy. Snowy didn't come to you.
I mean, they didn't
Don't
call it that. It's the most familiar around. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna run up here. Which one is the second one in the Hold Person? I don't see them. Just like on this.
Well, first off, you only know from your space for that Othala had casted magic. You don't know which spell that exactly was. You couldn't see the effects as it happened. In addition to that, only you're going off observation as you approach the space. One target seems to be rigid and frozen solid, while the rest are moving.
Okay. Then I'm gonna target this one with suggestion, and I'm gonna say that if you aid us, you will be rewarded. Or actually, never mind. No, because that takes concentration. I'm just firebolting this one then.
Okay, 17 is going to hit, 13 points of fire damage. You strike into the cloak. Ah! You hear a Winston abode. Oh! Ah!
Then I'll just spend my turn stand right here, please.
All right. Okay, sounds good. And your turn, we come to the one that was just sent into the bolt. Is turning and gaining space, immediately running away. Stops and turns around. As it does, it outstretches hand, looking towards Reg, as it fires off a blast of energy from one of its hands. This energy bolt kind of flies through, strikes into you, Reg. With an AC of 12, it does reach that 12 and deals 2 points of force damage as it splashes into your shoulder. You notice that the character's eyes were closed when it did it. Just went like this and held out its hand and went, ah! And fired it off.
What
Sure.
a dick.
Drawing your short sword, one approaches you, Reg, as it does. Swings his short sword wildly. Ah! Comes through a swing. 13 is going to hit your AC. Does 4 points of piercing damage as it comes wildly swinging. That's going to be the end of its turn. Come to another one at the fire. This one is slowly going to move up 25 feet and unleash a bolt of energy aimed towards Reg. Similar in fashion, this one, though, has its eyes open. 17 does hit you. 7 points of force damage is dealt as it collapses into your center chest. Ending turn, come to another one. This one's going to cycle through, turns and looks, and now fires a bolt. This one aimed towards Othala. As it fires it off, you do have technical cover here, so that's going to be a miss of an 11 with the cover doing -2. There, you're up.
All right, I'm moving here just so I can see. I'm invisible, so they can't see me, hopefully.
Correct.
And I'm gonna go and I'm going to make an attack.
Okay.
It's my invisibility. With my force.
Okay.
Whatever.
Nat 20! You get advantage, you're invisible. Nat 20 lands,
Oh, yeah.
16 points of piercing damage dealt. Go ahead and tack on sneak attack, please.
Sneaky sneaks.
You come through 8, 12. That's 12. That's a lot of damage. 20 total on the sneak attacks. You come through invisible as you do, sliding the short sword directly through the neck, coming outwards. You see the gargle of blood as they fall to the ground. No more.
And then I'm gonna bonus action go for this guy with my dagger.
Okay.
You have advantage on that one too. He's held.
Well, it would automatically give it to you. That's
Ah.
why. Yeah, because of the condition. You don't necessarily need to hold it. Also criticals, right? Because it's held. The 10 points of piercing damage dealt as you stab towards the backside, coming through and flesh.
Alright, and that's my turn.
All right, ending turn. Now come to one that moves 20 feet, looks towards you. Please work, please. Holds up the hand, wincing. Fires off a bolt of energy towards you. 14 is going to be a miss as it crashes into the floor. Shakes the hand. Mary Jo, you're up. Being helped by heavies. Please hold down Alt for your first attack.
Let's see. I'm gonna target this guy right up here, and I'm gonna cast Hail of Thorns so I can catch that other guy right in front of Reg.
All right, so Hail of Thorns will take effect after you have to fire first. So you have to land the ranged weapon attack first. And then you create a rain of thorns that sprouts from the ranged weapon or ammunition. So in addition to the normal effects of the attack, the target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of it must make an extra saving throw. It takes additional damage.
It's go time!
Another critical hit, 29 points of damage dealt as you do, firing it directly into the head of that character. Flies in, falls backwards, dead. I'm also going to be rolling a save, and then you went ahead and rolled the d10 already, so unfortunately I'm going to take that one, but I'm just going to save just for the sake of it anyways, might as well. Takes 1 point of damage from the spell effect as the ammunition hit splinters outwards from the target as it lands.
Now I do have a second attack, right?
You do. You are level 5 ranger. You have extra attack.
I'm gonna go for that badly wounded one.
Okay. You are
See
no
if I
longer
can knock
helped.
him
Just FYI, I should have rolled 2d20 on the second one, but on the first one, but it's fine. 17 is going to hit. You do 17 points of piercing damage as that arrow flies, landing into the chest, going all the way into the heart. That creature is dead as it lands. And falls
Y'all going
backwards.
down now!
It's gone.
Can I move into the room at all, or am I just done?
You can move into the room if you want. You have movement.
Past these guys that just were killed. I can go up
You
top
will
here
take
so I
attack
can...
of opportunity from that character moving outside of its start range.
All right.
All right.
I want to
Goes
see
in.
if I can. Yeah, I guess go for everything.
All right, 17 is going to hit you as take attack of opportunity against you. 4 points of piercing damage dealt as it slices against your leg roughly as it's kind of wildly swinging the blade, not even really looking towards Reg, and happens to connect with you.
How dare you? Yeah, in turn.
All right, ending turn, we come to another one of the fire. This one's going to move 15 feet. As it stretches, you hear a voice yell out, "Brother, no!" Fires off a blast towards you, Dirty Joe. 13 is going to miss, crashes into the floor. Now we come to Regmore.
Regmore's gonna hold up the great sword and yell out to the rest of the guys in the room. You lay down your arms, you'll be spared.
Okay, I want you to either roll intimidation or persuasion with either one being advantage. Hold on, Alt.
Persuasion. And it's hold down Alt for advantage.
Correct.
So close.
You notice that there are a great number that are beginning to throw down their weapons. I'm going to go ahead and mark them as follows with the charm effect. Begin to kind of lower their short swords down.
And Ridge will stay where he's at, looking at the one directly in front of him to
Okay.
give him that ample opportunity to heed that warning.
Okay.
And that's
Alright.
the end of his turn.
All right, in your turn, come to 1, lower down the weapon, slowly begins to kind of backpedal a little bit, moving 20 feet and kind of goes over to the edge of the wall, kind of raising the hands, moving backwards. Now come to 1 that's held, that's going to be an immediate end to the turn. It's going to get a save off at the end of the turn. Does not meet the DC, is still held. Thala, coming to the top of the round 2, I'm going to go ahead and pause you. So now we cycle back to David, Ezekiel. You can hear kind of different sorts of effects coming that are echoing down from the cavern. They're echoing down, they're coming through the actual staircase, so you can hear that readily. See the 2 figures kind of looking towards you. Oh no, the Talthars are here. Oh no!
Yes, what should we do?
I don't know. Points towards
The master needs to be told, doesn't he?
Let them know in the dining hall. Let them know. Begins to go and cycle back to the door. You hear another door open. Again, the western doors. Another door shuts. 2 of which have now left. This target is alone. Yes, the master does. For sure. Darkwood should be here by now. Kind of moves the hand and bleeds it again. Presses the skull. They're here. The Talthars are here. Please. Pulls up the hand. The eyes reform the etherealness and then retracts and dissipates out. I think they got the message. That usually they get the message.
What's that? What that?
What was that? You kind of cut out for me.
What's that over there? I can gesture behind him.
Oh, what? No, what? No, nothing.
When he turns around, I would like to try to like choke him out.
Okay. Please make a athletics check with advantage for surprise. Oh no. Okay. Still failed. You got a 13. You got an actual 2 on its athletics check. So you wrap around the throat. Your voice. God, what are you doing? God, what are you doing? Kevin! Where?
When he's unconscious, I will just snap the neck to make sure he's dead.
Snap neck.
Is there this altar? There's nowhere really to hide a body, right?
Not that you can see. I mean, there's a couple of corners, and there's these kind of large, tall, about 6.5 foot, kind of clay pots, if you will, that are kind of sprouting up themselves. And they're intricate in their designs. The language here, written on the particular pots, is very. It's a language that is not something you speak, but you're kind of looking, and there's patterns that are repetitive across it. So you can see the same patterns of this language as it goes across in these kind of stripes that are forming towards the neck of the actual kind of thing. But yeah, body-wise, not much to hide, or not many places to hide.
Cool. I'll just move his body like over into the corner so it's not visual from eyesight, and just stand right here.
Okay, so as we do that, we're going to go ahead and end that. We're going to cycle back over. Okay, Athala, top of round 2, go.
I'm gonna look at the guy in front of Ezekiel, and I'm gonna yell at him. He said, "Put your weapons down," and I'm gonna cast Sapping Sting.
Okay.
So constant.
Okay, fails, takes 5 points of necrotic damage, and falls prone.
Okay, and then I'm gonna walk next to Reg. Yeah, and that's that. I'll have Heavy just fly in with me. He's not gonna do nothing, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right, Zell, you're up.
I'm going to move And okay, let's see, where's that? Okay, then I'm gonna move over to the person who just hit with Sapping Sting. I am going to poison spray them.
Kicking this guy while he's down.
They're going to succeed with the 21 on the Constitution saving throw and take no damage.
Okay. And I'm gonna yell, all those who do not surrender will be burnt alive.
Okay.
It's a little extreme.
Getting very extreme here. After we have used attacks, we are trying to negotiate, and I love it. I love the fact that we're going straight to attacking, and then saying, "Lay down your weapons." Attacking, lay down your weapons. It's great.
It shows we mean business.
Shows you mean business, right? Yeah. Picks itself up. Half movement speed, gets up, holding a short sword. I'll die for my master. I'll die. Looks around towards the back.
That can be arranged.
Laying down your weapons. You're all gonna be killed. You won't survive.
If the master requires you to die, then
Hills Frothal with a swing. 10 is gonna be a miss. You dive out of the way of it. Cycle through. These ones are kind of pulling themselves to the edge of the cavern, laying down their weapons. Alright, there you're up.
Can I guesstimate like how old these people look? Like, cause the kid that died outside was a kid.
From the
And the
voices,
way these people
from
are
the
talking
voices,
is like-
you can hear that they are either teenage or young adult age. That's just a gimme. Very inexperienced. I mean, I've been describing that in very vivid detail.
What does this guy look like? A teenager or a young adult?
Which one are you referring to? The one that's
I
held?
like
The non-trained
Yeah.
one.
by the
Well, they're-
bedrolls.
There's two that
That
have
isn't-
yet to lay down their weapons. The rest have.
Yeah,
But
I'm
they're wearing
pointing to one-
cowls. They're wearing cowls over their head, and all you're really getting is the bottom jaw as well as the voice that's emanating out. So it's too difficult to tell at this distance without even. You have to do an active check as well.
Okay, well, he's still. I'm gonna join in this call to surrender. And have we heard these guys talking about telepos? Or was it just downstairs that they were talking?
You have heard the conversation when the door was open, based on the conversation between Ezekiel, Gavin, right? That's what Ezekiel is portraying into persona, as well as that one particular human. So, beyond that, I mean, that's really all you got. Maybe some of the whispering from the individuals inside.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna shout specifically toward the ones that have not dropped their weapons yet. Surrender now! No more bloodshed!
Okay, are you trying
And
to
I'm
intimidate
going
or
to do
persuade?
that. I'm going to kind of pleading with them, so persuade.
Oh,
Persuasion.
sure.
Easy. That.
Okay. Anything else in your turn?
No, can I ready an action?
Your action
Or
was
if-
to persuade.
Okay, never mind then. I'm done.
And in your turn, we now come to one that has yet to lay down the weapon as he charges forward, taking a dash, runs all the way up to you, and looks you directly to the face. I will die for Tamuruk. I will die! Alright, you're up.
Buddy, you just got your wish. I'm gonna shoot him in the face. You had your chance. Oh shit.
Well, that's gonna miss. Fires.
No, I'm not gonna burn another lucky just for this. There's only one guy left. Second attack.
Don't you? Yeah, I'm like, don't you have 2 attacks though?
Yeah. God damn it.
Not gonna land. Flies. In both into the wall.
Hold still, god damn it.
You're aiming towards the head, it's popping.
Yeah, that's well, I can still dash forward behind him, can't I?
Yeah, you can still move. You have movement.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna get up right behind him. It's just like, buddy, you're at the end of your rope. Lay it down against the wall, and then turn.
Coming to another one, moving towards the edge of the cavern as they begin to kind of move and space themselves out. Now we come to Regmar.
It's like, I don't want to kill this kid.
There's other ways. You can attempt to restrain them. You can grapple them. You can, right? Disarm them.
Yeah, Reg's gonna put away the great sword and try to disarm the guy in front of me.
Okay. I need you to make a sleight of hand check, please. Alright. So you get a 7, fail with a 4. Sword claps onto the ground as you're able to get it out of the hands.
No more bloodshed.
Alright, any movement or bonus?
Yep, end of turn.
Alright, ending turn. Cycle through to the one that is held. This one is going to be rolling a save at the end. Does not succeed, is still held. Alright, before we come to Othala, the top of round 3. Ezekiel, you're up. So you've kind of stashed the body. It's still here. There's some things happening above, but it's slowly dying down. There are a great number of voices coming from this door here. There's movement as well.
Oh wait. Seeing how nobody's around me, I will shift my perspective into the face of the Duke.
Okay.
And walk to that door. I don't know what space that door's in.
Space is in the middle.
Oh,
Alright, so you open the door. As soon as
yeah.
you do, you see a large and expansive dining hall with many rectangular tables and a great number of figures that have been eating and enjoying food and drink and other things. Similarly robed and cloaked they are, they immediately turn in the direction of you, and simultaneously they all kind of look stuttered, and they all go down to a knee. Bow their heads.
Yes, good. The Talthars are attacking. I need all of you to be prepared to hold this room at all cost. Bar the doors. Do not let anybody in. Nobody leave this room. Defend it with your lives till I return, and only me. Even if there are other people in our organization, they might be spies. So I need you to hold this place, and only upon my request, my orders, do you leave it. Is that understood?
Persuasion. You see as they kneel down, they all repeat the same phrase. All hail Tamruk. All hail Master. They kind of raise their fists up. One voice speaks, the one closest whispers, "The Master. What about the lady?"
It's handled. Know your place.
Yes, Master, I'm sorry. Shuffles backwards. Bar the doors, everyone! Bar the doors! Begin to move, moving about the space. They shut the door. They shovel and movement, other things begin to happen. That's going to be it for that, and then we'll go ahead and cycle back. All right, follow you up, round 3.
Okay. I'm gonna move past the disarm guy. Walk up to this guy. And same thing. Point my finger at him and sapping sting. He said the weapons on the floor.
Alright, has failed, takes 3 points of necrotic damage, and is not prone. Oh.
Heavy will come in, give the advantage.
Okay.
Just cause, and that's the end of turn.
Alright, Zill, you're up.
Okay. I am going to try going to somewhere in the center of the room right here Then I'm gonna yell at the top of my lungs. Everyone surrender now. We are far more merciful than the Talthars.
All right, roll persuasion.
The jig is up.
Okay. Ending turn. So you approach the middle of the room. One without a sword looks towards you, Rig. Looks towards the held ones. You all die. You all die. Grabs the short sword from the ground and slits his own throat. He's dead. Cycle through the ones laying down their weapons. After Thea, you're being helped by Heavy.
Yeah, this guy in front of me, I don't feel like he's just prone, right? He's not convinced yet.
Prone, still
At least to
holding a
my
sword.
awareness.
He's got a short sword and is prone.
I'm gonna start collecting weapons that have fallen. So that they can't, if they snap out of it, they can't use it.
Okay, so you're going to try to disengage as a bonus action
Yeah.
away from this individual, and then you're going to be
Yeah.
taking your action, cycling about, and picking up weapons. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and move your token to wherever you want to end your position as far as your movement's concerned. And then
Take this guy's. Gonna start making my way over to this.
okay. So that would be.
I think I can make it. Yeah, I can make it, right?
So your movement speed is 30 feet.
6. Nope, I can make it right.
Yep.
So I'm walking toward him.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy in the corner.
All right. Heavy is still on your shoulder helping you, so still going with you there. We're going to go ahead and cycle through. Coming to the one that is prone. Picks themselves up, moving half movement speed. Goes in for a stab towards Sturdy Joe. I will never give up! Never! Rolls it at 1. Slips and falls. And is prone again.
See, that's what I was talking about, man.
Sturdy Joe, it's your turn.
You're outmatched here. All right, now that he's on the ground, I'm just gonna jump on top of him. And I'm gonna see if I can hog tie him with my rope.
All right, I need you to make an athletics check for the grapple, and then roll sleight of hand for the restraint.
Oh God! This stupid punk just will not go down.
7, grapple. Please roll sleight of hand.
Ah.
All right, so sleight of hand as you begin to thumb through. Target is restrained. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and end combat.
Okay, everyone is surrendered. Line up. This wall right here.
All right,
Stop.
so as we end combat, Ezekiel, we're going to have you still paused, kind of assuming the persona of the Duke and commanding the dining hall of a great number of figures. You can get an idea of how many individuals are actually in there at the time. You're the movement at different barring. Eventually, the hold effect actually wears off of the particular figure, ending your concentration as they have eventually succeeded. And after the hold person has kind of come off, they are lowering the weapon down. In addition, that's why we're ending combat, because that character was not going to attack at the point. Moves over, they're lowering their weapons down. The one that's hog-tied, getting roped around, they're budging, but they're unmoving. The sword is, removed. They're still kind of struggling against the ropes, but eventually they kind of subside. Not in the sense that they're giving up, but more that they're getting too tired and kind of struggling against the actual bondage that they're being applied. As we see these figures now, you're collecting the weapons and you're getting an idea of kind of front to front, face to face. These figures range from the age of 14 years, equivalent of a human year to 14 years, and to 22 years. So that is the range that you're seeing here. And again, different races have different ages for that group, but that is similar to like a teenage, young adult age. That is the range that you're seeing. And there are a variety of races. So you have humans, half-elves, dwarfs, one of them a halfling. So there's definitely different kind of variations in here. And immediately what you're kind of getting at, and the fact that you've been in Harrock for some time, is that kind of taking that time with your past investigations, with your past perception, is that these are Harrock miners. These are just citizens of the village. They are young, young individuals. Before we get into anything further, it's time we take a break. So at that point, we can get a good rest. We've been in combat for a while, trekking through here. We definitely come to a good stopping point before we get to any sort of other shenanigans here. So if you're watching this stream, we really appreciate it. Thanks so much. We'll be taking a 10-minute break or so. We'll come back about 6:35 p.m. PST, and we hope to see you when we get back. So,
Bye-bye.
Pizza time.
No. Can we like avoid becoming Nazis in our handling of these prisoners? Be great. I'm not there, but I trust somebody's going to be an adult in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This
Yeah, don't
this
worry about it.
Will be
Okay.
mean, yeah.
Stream is live. So if you're joining us back again, we promise that we will not become Nazis. in
Yes,
handling of the
promise.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
hand up. Right hand up to God. Mhm.
So as we come
Joe,
back
that's your
into
left
it,
hand.
Fingers crossed.
as we come back into it, you all have been following through in the steps of these two writers, and through that you've came into this abandoned mining house. There was a false kind of wall or a door mechanism, something in the actual mining house, and it led to this cavern. Upon that, you actually had more of the robed figures you encountered one by the wagon. It's kind of a young adult. Some of them actually laid down their weapons to their arms. And then, obviously, for you, Ezekiel, you have more information going down the sprawling staircase, seeing the altar. You went ahead and killed that individual, and you also communicated to the dining hall and the kind of assuming the persona of the master, Duke, now. And you were able to kind of convince them in a very forth and passionate way to bar the doors, to kind of bar the dining hall, to not let anybody come in, and very dramatic in that sense. Because quite a stir, and they are young and they're inexperienced and they're also very volatile, and so they're just going with the flow, and what the master states is what you're getting the information from. So we're going to come to the party above here in this particular cavern space. We're going to do a couple different actions here, and then we're going to come to Ezekiel below. So all I really need to know is, as far as what are you all doing in terms of these prisoners, and then what are we, like, action wise we're taking?
Reg's going to tell all the prisoners, anyone that's wounded, come over to me and I heal you.
All that are not wounded line up on the south wall right in front of me.
I've
Good
gathered
cop,
all
yeah.
their weapons at this point. I'm trying to, I guess, determine who is going to be the best one out of all these guys to talk to.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a pen and paper. I'm gonna start writing things down. So, one on the left. Name and how long have you been doing this?
Before we get to that, I just want, obviously, actions and what we're doing. So they've aligned themselves on the wall. One is approached you, Regmore, for healing, and the one by you, Dirty Joe, is hogtied to perfection when they're not moving. They're tired out at this point. While you make way for the sprawling staircase, there you've collected the weapons. Finishing up, we're going to go ahead and
Send heavy to the stairs.
okay, send heavy to the stairs. We're going to come now to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, in your space and position, there is a movement, kind of noticing from the eastern door.
It shows that I'm on the Third Reckoning Old Mining House map, just so you're aware.
Oh, okay. I'll build you back in.
There's movement coming from where?
That eastern door.
Okay. Just gonna come down here. Kind of like gonna come down there, kind of like peek around the corner, and if it's the Duke, I will kind of pop back in and transform myself into a regular servant. If it's not the Duke, then I will appear as the Duke.
The door locks.
Bloody my
opens.
hand.
Figure walks out of the door. I'll give you a description of this figure. This figure appears to be wearing a blackish robe with hints and mainly of red as it comes through. Similar in cowl as it kind of comes, but this cowl itself droops all the way down. It kind of forms almost a mask, if you will, from the hood, and it's red. So there's tinges of this red and this black. Mainly it's kind of that blackish in that cloth. This figure is holding a scepter or a rod of some kind, and it seems to have a bluish orb within the blackish metal. As it's holding it, you can see that the hand has long fingers with large nails, and the skin is black, charred like burnt chicken. You're not sure of how this figure actually sees. You don't see any sort of eye slits within this particular mask. They immediately look around, and they're just looking left and right slowly as they come into the space.
Right, so I'll pop out as the Duke. Good, you're here.
Slowly turns and looks towards you. Stops and looks. staring directly into your face. I need you to roll initiative.
Shit.
As you begin combat quickly, this one goes first with initiative 20, stares and points directly towards you as it seems to cast a spell. Reaches its hand, chanting words. Of this large black tongue unfurls itself. As the tongue kind of unfurls itself, it moves in a half-crouched position, moving directly towards you as you are now charmed. Lighting an ethereal gaze, all you can see is this figure. As it now slowly takes the long tongue and pulls it directly to your cheek, begins to lick you as it tastes your flesh.
Nice. I feel like we just met, but for some reason this is so comforting.
As it reaches its voice, there's really no sense of going through combat any further, as you are technically
No.
charmed and no one above can hear. We'll see what happens, but we'll keep the initiative order, as you did have Heavy flying down the stairs, so the initiative order is kept. The voice emanates out, echoing through the space. You're the master.
I didn't hear you, Michael. I'm sorry.
You're not the master.
You're not the master.
You are interesting, creature. Where do you come from?
I don't know. I literally don't know. I can't remember.
Stretches an eyes. At this point, Heavy has appeared, flying down the staircase. At this point, I'm going to pull you, Othala, to the space. I'm going to go ahead and end combat at this point. Just wanted to keep track as I cycle through in time. Myself, personally. Heavy flies down the staircase. Similar fashion is what you see to the north. Heavy sees the altar. Door to the west, door to the south. I'll give you control over Heavy. Obviously, Heavy at this point can kind of communicate to you as descended down, but this obviously there's material and there's space and there's other things that might block that communication. But at the time now, just at the staircase that it's currently at, still has some descent. It can communicate to you. You hear voices from the perspective of Heavy as you sent down. Voices themselves talking in so unison. Got an unarmed strike coming out.
Unintentional. Sorry. I spilled my glass, so I'm putting that up.
Oh, you spilled your wine?
I did, yes. I went to go hit my unmute button and I knocked it over, and so
Oh,
now I'm
no.
very flustered.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. We can cycle back upstairs if you want. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. All right, cycling back upstairs. Obviously, a break, so Heavy has gone downstairs. We're gonna go ahead and pause Othala with Heavy downstairs. So I'll pull you back to scene here, so that way you're just now sending Heavy downstairs. So
Yeah. Okay.
Zell, you're asking for name.
So asking for their name, their age, and how long they've been doing whatever this is, starting from my right to my left. I'm assuming I'm kind of looking them like that. So starting from this guy, going to this guy. Their name, age, and how long they've been doing whatever this is.
You want to go that way?
Sure, actually, but I always meant the other way, but okay.
You want to go this way?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
What?
Well, well, my name is Stuart, and well, I have been doing this for a month.
And how old are you?
Looks around. Well, there's towards the ground, kicks a rock. I'm gonna tell my parents.
That depends on how you answer.
Why do you want to know my age?
It's just for the paperwork.
Paperwork? What are you trying to document though? Are we going to
It's
prison?
policy, man. I have rules. I can't just like. I need to. I need. Don't worry. You're not going to be very heavily punished, but we may need to punish you in some way. Don't worry. Nothing bad. Nothing bad at all. But I need to record this. You understand? It's just my job. And age.
Your job is I'm 17 years old.
Perfect. Okay. Don't worry. I'll write down that you helped out. You weren't resisting at all. Okay. Next one. Next in line.
Change the names of them. Stupid.
One. Next in line.
Looks. My name is Grisval.
Can you spell that for me, please?
It's spelled Grisval.
E-A-L? Grisel?
Yep.
Okay, great. Age?
Why are you doing this?
Because I have to. Move on.
I'm 41 years old.
You're not.
Yeah, I'm a dwarf. Quite young.
Oh,
for
you're
a
a
dwarf.
dwarf, so 41 is your equivalent. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
What would you say your age would be in human equivalents? Just, I need. This assumes you're human. I don't know why.
Why does that matter?
Rich.
Greg would know. Greg would know.
Out of
Reg,
character.
what's
I
41
thought we
in-
were not going to treat these prisoners like Nazis, but apparently we're
Yeah.
showing papers right now. So someone's better step up.
Is that your papers? How old are you? We
This
don't
is,
account for other people's
the fact
races. It must be
heavy.
human in accounting.
Show me your papers.
As Zell gets close to me, I'm gonna touch his shoulder.
I'm trying to figure out which one would be the best one to gather info from. I want someone that's young and
Yeah,
inexperienced.
yeah,
Do that.
but we're not asking the right questions right now.
I want them to look
And
intimidating, not too
I'm
intimidating.
going to ignore what Zell is saying to me and look to them and ask them why they are here and why.
Oh, come on. Well,
Zell, shut up.
Jeff in accounting is going to murder me.
Zell, shut up. And I'm talking to them in a soothing voice.
One approaches. Well, my name is Anders.
Hi, Anders. Why are you here and why are you doing this?
Well, we all were told to speak for everyone here, maybe. I don't know. They all look back.
If that's
Well-
agreeable with them, that's fine.
We were approached in the mine. It was a half elf. She was quite beautiful, honestly. Yeah, I'll look around here. She was hot, very hot. Yeah. Essentially told us so we can earn some more coin, by helping out protecting caravans, from being attacked. So they brought us down here and gave us a bunch of coin. And all we had to do is sleep and stay here. And they gave us coin, and we just would go up and we'd help gather the materials of the caravans that were attacked that were left over. Never really fought anybody. And then we brought them back here and we waited. And eventually there was these figures, they would come. They were like dwarfs, but they weren't. They spoke language we didn't speak. And they took the stuff and they left.
I'm gonna gesture to like the scorch marks, I assume, from the failed attacks. And how did this come to be? This ability that you have?
Well, in order, we signed a contract, and it wasn't written in a language we speak. And it was part of the duty here to get the coin. So,
I'm just gonna yell across the room. Can we see the contract?
and they told us that we could use the magic to protect ourselves. They didn't really tell us how. There's these ones called Dark Ones, and they're really scary. One of us had a hard time. Trevor, right? I'll shake their head. Yeah, Trevor. And honestly, I think one of the Dark Ones ate Trevor's head. And I don't know, but Trevor didn't come back. And we found a body. So, I maybe why we wanted to leave, but we're all really worried. We don't want to get killed. So,
How many more are there of you?
well, there's a lot. I don't know, 3 dozen maybe.
Could y'all describe one of these dark ones?
Yes, please, and in as much detail as you can give us. Because we can help you, but
Looks
only if you
towards-
help us.
Points towards the bodies, the ones that are dead. Only Alex had actually talked to one. The rest of us only saw in passing. They wear a robe, and well, they're all. That's really all. You can't really see anything else except for a black and red robe.
Is there any way, if we run into the rest of your group here, of convincing them that we don't want to hurt you?
No, we don't want to hurt you.
I mean, I can't speak for everyone. Looks the rest, they're looking. Well, I guess I can. Well, we try. There's some that are really, well, they like the being here. Some of us just go along with it. So, I mean, you can try your best.
Okay. Reg is going to untie the one that's restrained.
Why?
So, you're going to start untying the one that's restrained. So, Dirty Joe, obviously,
Yep.
Regmar is attempting to remove your hog tie.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
Um,
talking to these guys and try to reassure them. They seem pretty compliant. That we just want to see them safe back with their families.
Yeah, so I see Reg like trying to mess with the ropes and be like, "Hold on, everybody. This guy might be he might be ensnared or enslaved in the mine some way. Maybe see if there's some kind of a spell he's under before we let him loose and he goes run off asking for aid."
I don't think it's a spell.
Well,
I
he was the
think
only one that was shouting, "I'll die for the master" or whatnot. The rest
Before
of
we
these
get
guys
into anything further, we're going to go ahead and pause what's happening upstairs, and we're going to continue what's going downstairs. David, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so Heavy flies down. Heavy's hearing voices and what's happening. In front of you, Ezekiel. Why don't you come with me? The tongue continues to lick around, grabs out this charred and blacked, grotesque hand, grabs upon yours, begins to pull you from towards the door.
Am I like dominated right now, or am I just charmed?
You're just charmed. It's just a charmed person.
All right, I'm gonna. He seems friendly enough. But I wonder if he has good intentions. So I don't know if that'd be like a insight against his deception, or what you got, or
Sure. Companion. So basically dealing harm, right? So it's obviously not a friendly acquaintance. It's definitely not somebody. You're just seeing the euphoria effect of the charm person. You're.
well, he seems like a nice guy, but
Seems like a nice guy.
I don't know. I don't really go off with strangers quite often.
Roll insight.
Okay, so I normally have advantage on these. I think maybe I'm charmed, so maybe it's a straight roll.
I'll meet you there. $14. This figure does not make any intentions necessarily to try to be deceitful. You're able to understand that they are being escorting you to an area that is unsafe and potentially harmful to your person.
Well, you're lovely and all, and I don't want to go there. That seems unsafe. And we just met. Maybe we have some food. Maybe you want to come meet my friends.
You have friends. Are they? Where are they?
Oh, I can show you. Come follow me. As long as he follows me, I will walk up the stairs with him behind me.
He's following you.
I see Ezekiel through Heavy's eyes. I'm gonna start having Heavy fall back up. Actually, I'm gonna have him just disappear completely. And I'm gonna instantly tell everybody, I see something scary with Ezekiel, and they're coming to the stairs.
So, friend, I didn't get your name. I want to introduce you to my other friends.
I'm gonna like snap my head to Athala and be like, black and red robes?
Yep.
Shit. I'm gonna get all these kids out into that little storage area.
Ridge, do not untie this guy.
He's
Yeah, he's
fine.
I'm gonna try unsummoning and then resummoning my owl and see if it's still alive. It just got lost.
Snowy does not come to you.
Back it's dead. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and move the servants in time and space as they begin to do, heading into the mining house. That was per what was told. Regmore, before you can actually undo the bindings, this hog tie is quite exquisite. That was a very high check. So
Reg
still
will pick up-
hog tied.
Yeah,
Pick
Reg
him
will
up.
pick them up and take him into the other room.
Toss them
Yeah, it's
in.
fine. Just keep him bound.
Okay. Door is somewhat still open. You can attempt to shut the door if you want. I need one person to move over to the door to make that mechanism happen.
All right. I'll do that then.
You guys stay quiet and safe.
Right, Boris, you do.
Yeah,
you
I'd
shut
like
the
to
door.
hide if I can, because I knew this was coming. So after I told the kids to leave, I'm gonna hide.
Yeah, I'll get to that real quick. So don't. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
okay.
pause it again. I just wanted to state who is moving, and obviously Regmore, you moved and shoved the dude in there, or the person in there. So you're now going to use the mechanism to shut the door.
Yep.
Okay, so that is the end for you. That all you can do there. So Dirty Joe, you moved over and helped and assisted Regmore moving that individual, so you don't have to have a check or anything. What are you doing in addition? Because you don't have to operate the door.
So do I see them coming up the stairs right now?
You
Do I know
cannot
that
see them
they're-
coming up the stairs. You don't have line of sight of that.
Okay. Well, in that case, I guess I'm just gonna move back over towards the middle of the cavern if I can.
Okay, I'm gonna unpause it. Go ahead and move.
All right, guys, get ready.
Yeah, hide.
All right. Thea, you said you're stealthing.
Yeah, I'm stealthing. I'm gonna
Yep.
hide, like, kind of behind this box over here.
Okay. Go and roll stealth, and then move yourself into position. Stealth.
Is this place right here at a lower altitude?
That
Like-
is a kind of a ditch area where water has been protruding. The water is filled currently with feces and other sorts of garbage.
Can I hide kind of on the edge of the ditch, not quite in the water, but kind of like not at
You
the
will-
head height?
You will fall into the water.
Okay, then I'm going to hide next to Thea, like kind of behind Grace.
Roll stealth, please, Othala.
Hide in the latrine.
How does this staircase look? Is there like a half wall or anything like that?
Well, it
Around the staircase?
descends. So remember, this is down very far. This is down very far. You don't have line of sight of that currently. That's why they're in that space. So you technically are looking at a crate, a pillar, and then just the railings of the staircase and some of the stairs as it ascends up to here. Currently, you have to be within range to be able to speak with Heavy. And based on the fact that you were communicating with Heavy and dismiss Heavy and they're heading directly up, well, you really only have one movement and one action to really take before we roll initiatives potentially here.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I guess I'm just gonna loop around real quick, get to the not the feet. I'm gonna get towards the fireplace. And I'm going to just bring Heavy right back next to me.
Okay. Go ahead and drag Heavy onto the board, and you come. It's a campfire, not a fireplace, just like a fire pit kind of area.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Oh, it was a little fireplace. All right, cool.
it's a little campfire. It's the pitched campfire. So I'm gonna drag Heavy there. So as you're rounding the staircase, Ezekiel, you're asked for the name of this individual. You can call me friend.
Oh, all right. Nice to meet you, friend. And kind of get to the top of the stairs. I see Joe, I think, only, or who else do I see?
Yeah.
And Othala.
You see Othal and Dirty Joe.
But
You see.
kind of step to the side and be like, "Hey, friends, Joe and Othala. This is my friend. He just goes by friend. Friend, this is Othala and Joe. I don't know where the rest are."
I'm just gonna knock an arrow and see if I can shoot him.
Okay.
I'm
Need
not-
everyone
Yeah,
to roll
if I
initiatives,
don't do
please.
that, I'm doing the same thing.
Let's
Need
go.
everyone to roll initiatives, please.
I'm perfectly positioned to shoot him in the face.
Oh, even higher. Highest roll today.
Man, I've rolled well on my initiative today.
At least I got a couple good combat rolls in.
Same. Rolling good on initiative.
Yeah, my initiative has steadily gotten better, but it's still not great.
Yeah, I used to be the worst. I've been like second or 2 times in a row now.
All right, we begin combat with all obviously at the top of round 1. I might as well just say with all those skills. not one
Sometimes.
time, not sometimes.
Sometimes,
Othal, it's your
sometimes.
turn. As it is approached, you see sidestepping Ezekiel. Dirty Joe immediately goes into pull an arrow, and that is triggered initiative. The creature is aware as it looks in the direction of Dirty Joe with the arrow nocked.
Okay. Bread and butter. I'm going to pull out a rod, point it at the creature, cast hold person. Did it come out? I don't think so.
I don't see anything.
I'm looking at your spell slots. So I know you used hold person, so you should have 1 second level spell slot.
I used it. It says that
Yeah.
no, I used the 3rd level spell slot for the first time, so I still had 3, but I keep clicking it and it's not popping up though. But it's a constitution save.
Well, you've used hold person already.
Yeah, at the 3rd level. I didn't use
So
it
yeah,
at 2nd level.
you tapped into the 3rd level to pass it over, so you should have 2 slots left. Okay.
Well, yeah. So I cast it at a 2nd level for 1, but it's not popping up. So
Yeah,
just the
most likely lagging. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the manual save. What's your DC?
16.
Okay, it has succeeded with a 25.
It's 30. It's 30 feet. Right next to me, right?
Are you?
So-
What are you referring to?
I'm gonna chrono shift it to try to reroll.
Okay, you're gonna attempt to chrono shift.
Yep.
Okay.
How many of those do you get? But
I get 2. I only used 1.
Again, 19.
So close. Yeah. Then just run up to have Heavy go to Joe and give the help action. That's not a turn. I'm gonna move back a little bit too.
Okay. So Heavy's going to go help Dirty Joe, and then we come to Zell after Thal moves out of the way. So Zell, you are stealth currently.
I kind of want to try something that's barely legal, but I checked it's completely legal. I can drop concentration at any time, right? Anytime I want, I can drop concentration.
Yeah, you can drop concentration if you're trying to cast another spell, right? That's what you're trying to
No, but like at any moment, even if it's not my turn.
Let me phrase this. What are you attempting to do? And then I can tell you if you
on
can
its
do it.
side, cast haste on it, then drop concentration the moment it starts a turn, so it misses 2 turns.
It's not a willing creature. You couldn't cast haste on it.
Not a willing creature.
No, but I want to make it think that I'm friends with it. Then. Okay. In that case, I'll just firebolt.
Okay, hold out Alt for advantage as you are stealth. It does not detect you. So you are sprying this creature.
Oh fuck, I was control. Anyway,
Alright, I'll take
14.
the 14. 14 plus 5, 19, 19 plus 3. Go ahead and roll damage, which I believe for you is 2d10. You have to manually do it. Alright, 3 points of fire damage dealt. As it does, it kind of lands within the robes and kind of splinters through. You notice there's a little kind of scorch mark within the robe, but other than that, the creature does not wince. We come to this creature's turn. You hear a very large shriek emanate from it as it pierces outwards as it looks towards you, Ezekiel, that's charmed. As the large tongue unfurls itself from the mass as it falls down to the mid-chest and hunches down slightly. As it reaches its hand outwards, goes down a spell. Space completely filled with darkness. All visibility, you cannot see this creature. As the cloud emanates outwards, you have no idea where this creature is dispersed. Ezekiel, right, your vision, it's not there anymore. All the light sucked out of space. The template has been kind of shown, kind of showcase the squares that this is affecting. It's kind of spreading outwards. In the way that we do function off like cheat squares, so we can get the corners of the actual spheres. So it's a spherical effect as it kind of comes outwards, and it is filling a great space of 15 feet in height of the actual sphere. All right, Greg Mario.
So question on spell effects. Like spike growth. Would I be able to cast spike growth in the area that is now darkness?
Yeah, there's not. I mean, you have to be able to see the area you're casting. You have to have an idea of where you're planting that seed for the growth to happen. You can't see that within the darkness.
Okay.
But spike growth is huge.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, you could cast at the edge of that template and it would still encompass.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Poor Ezekiel's covered in darkness.
He's with friend. He's cool.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right, these growths begin to unfurl themselves, these tiny thorns. You all facing this, you can see the thorns. You can see this effect as it kind of sprouts forward, these little tiny spikes within the ground itself in the middle. But it's quite hidden and tucked within in the blackness of this almost a fungi kind of landscape, so it's difficult to kind of differentiate between the cavern floor and the spikes, but you know they're there. So Thea, you are technically stealth, but you cannot see this creature. Or can you see Ezekiel?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I hold my attack for when I do see it? I was gonna shoot it with a short bow.
Okay.
Because that's really all I can do. I can't see anything.
Okay.
I can just be ready to do something when I do see it.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna stay stealth and hidden until I do see it.
Okay, makes sense. All right, we're gonna end your turn there then. Dirty Joe, you're up.
So this is difficult terrain for me too. I can't just like walk past it.
It'll do damage to you. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, hell, other than just shooting blind with the hopes I hit the right thing, I think what the hell else I can do here? My rope is used up on that other guy. I do still have a climber's kit. Trying to see if I can fashion something to toss into the fog and just shout at Ezekiel, like, grab hold, feel around for a rope or something. I'll try to pull you out of there. What do you think? Is that doable, DM?
That's a very far throw. If you're going to attempt to throw a rope, you'd have to come to the edge of the growth and
yeah, that's fine.
attempt to kind of yeet it.
Right over here in the corner.
Okay.
You want me to make a check for that or something?
I don't think a check is really necessary to kind of just throw a rope. I'm assuming you're kind of aiming for the corner, so I'm going to just draw kind of a array template. It's going to be quite large, but I'm going to... I think a pencil tool is actually going to work for this actually a little bit better. So I'm assuming you're trying to throw it like right in there.
Yeah, kind of where I last saw him standing.
Okay. So, Ezekiel, you are under the charm effect, but you are aware of sounds. There's a kind of a sound nearby, kind of in the actual darkness. You can't see anything, but you heard a sound.
Okay.
Anything else to show?
Fred.
Anything else
Wait,
in your
what'd you
turn? Anything else in your turn, dear Joe?
There's not really anything else I can do that I can think of other than just like using a spell slot on something that's not really gonna help anything right now.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna keep yelling, be like, grab the rope and follow my voice, come over here. Yeah, that's
All right.
it.
Ezekiel, it's your turn. You hear the voice of Dear Joe telling you to follow the rope, grab the rope, and it's your turn.
Yeah, Fred, why are we fighting? Everybody can get along. We are okay. Everybody just put away your weapons. Let me introduce you to my friend. It's okay. He's one of the good guys. And Ezekiel just, I guess, take the dodge action.
Okay. And your turn there. Come to the top of round 2 with all your...
Okay. So let's see. Is this an action? Yep. All right. Fuck it. I'm going to cast See Invisibility on myself. Gonna walk up a little bit, cast See Invisibility. Does that help in any way?
Casting See Invisibility on yourself. You attempt to perceive into the ethereal plane of invisible creatures. You do not see any ethereal or invisible creatures.
So I can't perceive through the darkness as well? Through magical darkness or anything?
No, so see invisibility in its spell, it's really actually perceiving into the ethereal plane. That's where invisible creatures, they access that, and that's where they kind of draw that effect, essentially with their transverse, and it's outlines of them moving through that space. This is a magical darkness, and it's avoiding light. Not that the creature has essentially tapped into that, it's simply sucking the light out of the space, and that's why you can't see anything.
Okay, so now in character and in person, I both understand that. All right. Either way, I'm gonna yell to Ezekiel. You're charmed. It looks like you're under a spell of some sort. Snap out of it, and that's the end of my turn. Continuing to give Joe advantage. I have Heavy keep following him.
Okay. All right, we're gonna end turn. Zell, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna try and run over here. Okay, that's one. And I'm gonna try to. I mean, he's the next square over, so I'm just gonna. I can touch Heavy, right? Since he's kind of like half a square away, it'd be nice. Pretty close.
You can touch Heavy.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm gonna cast Dragon's Breath on Heavy.
Okay. You're using Dragon's Breath on Heavy.
I'm gonna cast it on him so he can use it. Yeah.
One thing I have to ask, Thala, is Heavy a willing creature?
Yeah, he would be a willing creature.
All
Who doesn't want to be a fire-breathing flying?
Tap on the concentration check as you give fire. I imagine fire breathing.
Yeah. Since I've already proved that he doesn't have resistance fire or anything, yeah, fine.
Okay. So you can cast the spell and you can right-click off the template to not throw it down, just to kind of expend the actual spell slot. But you're concentrating on it.
Because sometimes this won't work.
Anything else after you touch Heavy and imbue the fiery glands within the jowls of a flying monkey?
Nope. Since I did basically everything this turn, so I'm just gonna enter and thunder.
All right. Next to you, Zell, the earth begins to bubble and crack as it begins to splinter, and a hideous creature pops out of the space, hops down on all fours as its jaws are unstretched, clenched, snapping. It has multiple eyes, gooey flesh, and it seems it's just kind of emerged from the actual ground. Ezekiel, you're the only one who can actually hear it, but there seems to be some sort of not the best way to say it is a clicking from the particular creature, and also tapping upon the metal rod as this kind of began to emerge. This creature is actually going to roll its own initiative as it's going to come into the initiative order as it sprouts up, moves in the direction, and it seems to just look around and notices immediately it locks its multiple eyes towards you, Zell, opens up its jaws to attack. Regmore, you're up.
That creature thing just spawned right there.
Correct.
Huh. Thorn whip it.
Yep.
Maybe. Let me check the range.
Okay, you gotta be. You're 35 feet away from it, so I think you have to be close. If I remember correctly. Orm has a range of 30 feet, so you have to be 5 feet closer.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn all these volumes down. They keep going back up.
Oh, it's because I'm playing new things to it.
If you turn your global volume controls on the playlist down, it'll prevent that's just on your side, Reg. So in the music note icon versus global volumes, turn your playlist down, and that'll be the max volume someone can play it, despite whatever.
There we go.
My playlist.
Alright, 25 is going to land against the creature, does 7 points of piercing damage as you grab a hold of it with the thorn whip and you whip it back 10 feet towards you.
Nope, leaving it right there. Ended my turn.
Ending turn. Now come to the creature's turn. It opens up its massive bite. Comes down for a snatch.
Portents. I portents.
Okay.
I'm
what
giving.
do you-
I believe I can give it a 4, but let's check. Yeah. Okay. 5. A 5, not 4.
Okay. You're giving it a 5?
Yeah.
Okay. As you see its mouth kind of lunging for you, you kind of use almost a little bit of glimpses of this particular effect as the kind of comes into your mind, noticing where it might bite. You kind of sidestep a little bit as it lands. It jowls a little bit. And its tongue unfurls itself, licking around wildly. Its eyes begins to jiggle and vibrate in its turn. There you go.
Alright. I'm going to make a short bow attack against that creature. That's Zell, because I can't see anything else and I can't do it.
Okay, make an advantage, please, as you are stealthed. And this creature is not detected. You so hold down ults, and then fire away. Oof, almost in that one there, yeah?
Yeah.
20 is going to hit, 8 points piercing damage. Roll stealth, sneak attack. Alright, 6 points of sneak attack damage dealt as you land one of its eyeballs. The tongue's through. It begins to jump up and down.
And I would like to use my bonus action to hide again.
Alright, go ahead and roll a stealth check, please. Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
Alright, Dirty Joe. Ropes in front of you has not been taken. The voice of Ezekiel has came out. Friends.
I'm going to just kind of wiggle it around as much as I can. Hopefully see if I can just hit him with one of the flings. Get feel if I if I can feel anything grab hold. Whether it's the big bad or if it's Zeke, if I can feel that, I'll start pulling.
Alright, I need you to
I'm
roll
still
a D.
yelling, like,
I need
go
you to
for it, go
roll
for it.
a D8 for me, please.
Okay.
Okay. Think you'll hear the rope smack, but that's all you hear.
As far as that goes, I mean, I'm not too worried about this other guy, so I'm just gonna keep on fishing, see if I can fish out a Zeke.
Whipping
That's
the
it,
rope
I'm
up and down, try to get it into a place. You can hear it smacking around in the actual space, but that's it. Alright, gonna end your turn then. Ezekiel, come to you. Get to be damaged.
Well, okay. Darkness is all around me. I hear some noise. You tell me where, but Ezekiel tried to find his way out of his darkness. I can see the map, but I don't know where Ezekiel would necessarily go.
Honestly, you would probably be going towards the noise. I mean, if you're trying to get outside of the darkness, you'd be pulled, especially in the charmed state, you'd be going towards the noise of kind of friends. So I need you to take 5 feet towards the west. All right. And you are entered into the spike growth, so you're stepping on the actual spikes within the space. So I'm going to roll damage. Okay. You take 4 points of damage. You are no longer charmed.
Oh, shit. Guys, there's this creepy thing that did something in my head.
We know.
Guys? Hello?
Come to me.
We know.
Come to our voices. Get out of there.
Okay, I'm going to continue to move until I get out of the darkness, so I guess that's, another 25 feet?
Okay. 25 feet.
That's what I walk!
That's a lot of damage there.
Yeah, Ezekiel doesn't know what's going on.
Technically, this would be
Yes,
difficult terrain, so you take
yeah.
your dash action to do that.
Oh, yeah, I would, to get out.
Okay. You take 18 points of piercing damage as you took your dash action to get out. The spikes kind of coming through, And now you're all outside of the darkness at this stage. You can see the spikes embedded into the earth, and you can see the hideous creature out in front of you.
Oh. Yeah, I'll be there in a second. Kind of pulling some thorns out of my boots.
Yeah, buddy.
That's it.
Your turn.
I'm just gonna look at Ezekiel. Oh man, sorry you went through that. And I'm just gonna cast Vortex Warp on him and bring him out of the spike growth. Right behind the worm creature.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay. Ezekiel, I'm assuming you want to fail the saving throw to be moved?
Yeah, I'm willing.
Okay.
I'm not charmed anymore.
Yeah, willing party, all that. So you are warped space kind of tears, immediately you kind of reappear into a subsequent space behind this particular creature between you and Zal. And it's a similar description as what I've given before. Anything else to thought?
I'm gonna run behind the crates. And then seeing that Ezekiel's out, I'm gonna have heavy. How far is this? Ooh, could do it. I'm gonna have heavy fly back. Would I have seen the hide with my passive? Would I have seen her?
Perception is 11. No.
Oh, never mind. That's investigation I was looking at. So it's gonna go to Ezekiel and give him advances on his next strike.
Okay.
End the turn.
All right, Zal, you're up.
Now that he's out of there, I'm gonna fireball the vortex.
You're gonna throw a fireball in there?
Yeah.
All right. Fireball away. All right, you hear a shriek coming out as the fireball crashes down with a fiery explosion. The shriek emanates outwards as it comes through. The darkness itself is still maintained and has yet to dissipate away as the explosion flies out of the space. Oh. So many templates. Which one is it?
I am also gonna yell. Remember that the monkey can breathe fire. And then it's gonna-
True.
Okay.
Is it? You know, I'm not gonna try to move. Yell to attack us. So yeah, then I'm just gonna end my turn.
Okay, ending turn. Regmore, you're up.
Going to use Healing Word on Ezekiel.
Thank you.
Alright, you heal for 8 hit points.
And staying right here.
Ending turn.
Correct.
Alright, creature bubbling. Goes in for another bite towards Zell.
Shield. Okay, so
You're gonna reaction and use shield?
yeah.
Okay. Bumps your AC up to 18 with the shield as you kind of throw it up as a reaction. 17 does not bite you as it clutches onto the shield, begins to snap upon it, begins to jiggle, bubbling around. Ends its turn. There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I still can't see the thing in there, so I don't know if I can shoot it from where I am or if Zeke's in the way.
Creature is low stature. It's only about 4 feet tall.
So then I'm
Technically,
gonna.
it's in cover by Ezekiel. So yeah, you just have to move
Would
to
I be
the
able to
side.
get clear from here?
Yep. Yeah, you can get a
Okay,
shot.
so then I'm gonna shoot it from here.
Okay.
Is this advantage because he's in melee with my friends?
No, it's not advantage because melee with your friends. You also broke stealth to try to get outside of the crates. The creature has multiple eyes, it seems. They're kind of moving in random directions.
Okay. That's short one.
Short bow away. 17 is going to land. That does approximately 10 points piercing damage. Please tack on sneak attack. Alright, landing into another eye. 3 points of sneak attack damage. It is dead. It flies in. You see it kind of pull itself back and curl like kind of like a spider and furls its legs together and just stops moving. As it does.
Okay, I'm gonna move back
We're
to
gonna
where
go
I
ahead
was.
and end combat. As we end combat, concluding, the starkness itself subsides and ends as it vanishes out in space.
Is
Creature
there?
is not there.
Would it have entered the ethereal after I've just been looking at the darkness area?
Nope.
Okay. Oh,
How do I get rid of the spell effect?
so many templates.
Whew. See, it's good to see you back alive there, bud. You learn anything down there?
Yes. If that thing's not dead, we need to go quick.
Okay. Charge!
I have quite a few of them contained. We don't want them to get through my interception. I'll explain. Come this way.
All right.
I'll try to push past and get in front of Dirty Joe so he doesn't open up any doors I don't want him to open up.
Sure.
Sir. Lead away.
Sure. That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. Alright, I'm just gonna pile you into this space. What are you concentrating on?
I don't know. I think I tried to concentrate on the whole person and just
Yeah, it might have just popped up. So come down the staircase again, descending roughly 20 or 25 feet or so. Grab a decent ceiling height here. You notice the altar kind of room space towards the north. The doors west, south, and east. The door to the east is open, which is different, Ezekiel, than it was before.
Gesture to the dining room hall, like, don't open that door. People are good. Don't open that one. I think it's down this way, where the creature went.
Okay.
Where did them come from?
Kill some creepy licky man.
Stairs descend downwards.
That's correct. Coming into this space, you can see a door stretched to the north. The same stone door as the other two to the west and the south of the entry chamber. That door doesn't necessarily have too much of a handle. It does have a kind of one, but not resembles that of the one you've just entered through with kind of that locking mechanism. This staircase does descend down at a very steep pace, is what it seems. So it kind of just protrudes down into the actual ground.
So let me check that door real quick, but I think he went downstairs.
I'm gonna check this door. For, like, any signs it's been opened recently.
The door itself. Oh, you're checking for signs if it's been open recently?
Yeah.
Roll investigation.
Dust.
This is curious. Yeah, it's curious.
16.
16. The door itself has seen use. It seems to be swung open based on the actual metal. It's too difficult to tell if it's been opened recently, as it's a stone door and there's no real dirt or debris down here.
You're hidden.
Okay, proceeding down.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go and activate map in space. Transitioning over as you begin to descend down. I'm also gonna pause it real quick. As you descend down, it's very steep and very spiral, so you're kind of wrapping around as you begin to spiral down. You come to a chamber that has roughly an 8-foot ceiling height, and you feel as if you've descended down roughly 40 feet into the actual earth itself. And you notice that the walls themselves here get quite farther space in the actual brickwork, resembling that they're using more bedrock than they are actually using potentially brick stone that they're kind of forming. And essentially, this place has been carved out. Lanterns upon the walls are metallic. They also have like candles that are currently glowing in them. And the candles, as far as you can tell when you're watching the flames, they don't move when you kind of move past and you're pushing the air around, right? You imagine that they might be blunted as they're open. There's no glass around them. And as you're looking and kind of getting an idea as you come to the door, the stone door, which doesn't have necessarily a handle, can just be kind of pushed through, the candles themselves aren't burning down. There's no wax pooling. There's just a constant flame that's just holding itself still. It's a very odd kind of phenomena, if you will, to what should be the norm, I should say. I'm going to go ahead and unpause it as you come to this small entry chamber here upon this particular floor, and the stone door in front of you, seemingly unlocked. It can just be pushed open. It's shut currently.
Right. I know we don't know what's ahead of us, and I know we want to be cautious, but we can only be cautious for so long.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's kick some ass.
Reg,
Yeah, the thing heal.
before we move in here, take and I'll pass him one of my potions of healing. Drink that real quick.
I'm okay.
No, please drink it. You look like shit.
Drink it like alcohol.
I mean, we all look like shit, but yeah, Reg, just
Oh,
drink it.
beautiful. Thank you very much.
I mean, I don't think they look that bad.
Besides you, Joe. Yeah, besides you.
If we get an opportunity, I might try to talk to him just to keep him distracted. Maybe you guys can position or something, but I don't know what's on the other side. They saw right through my visage, and yeah.
All right, guns blazing. Go ahead.
So I will. I guess you might just roll it, DM, if he takes it. I don't know if you want to take it, Reg.
Oh man, I could take it, or I just do Goodberry on myself.
It's a yes. It's a yes or no, Reg, if you're taking it or not.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so it's 2d4 plus 2, right? Yep. That's good. 7 to you as you drink it. Tastes
Then I'll
like
leave it.
raspberries.
How long does fire breath last? One question. That's it.
Only lasts a minute. I already can't do it.
Snozberries taste like snozberries.
So, as you slowly begin to move down the corridor at the 8 foot ceiling height, it becomes apparent that there is something up ahead, a large chamber of some kind. The white marble floor, there is an altar space that is vaulted in tiers of platforms. Large actual stone pillars protrude up to a ceiling height that is far expansing the 8 feet that currently the corridor is. In addition, it seems that there are 2 corridors, one here heading north and one here heading south, forming a kind of a T-junction of sorts. There are robed figures, similar in dress, as far as Ezekiel and Zell can see. The rest of you still kind of in the room. Dirty Joe, you have the onlooking and looking through the door and seeing that. The robed figures themselves are currently chanting. It kind of comes through. You can hear them muttering, whispering to themselves, saying repetitive sequences in a language none of you understand. There are 2 figures atop of the actual altar space. One of them looks like the Duke. The other one looks like Elise. They're currently at an altar with glowing purplish candles that are slowly moving side to side. The actual altar space, it's difficult to see at this point, but there's definitely objects in addition to those candles not lighting. At the backdrop, there appears to be some sort of glass mirror that extends high. It's quite wide, the width of the actual central altar space. To a distance you're unsure. Seemingly this distance looks like a normal mirror, glass.
That doesn't look good. I don't think we have time for stealth.
I
I'm
think
just gonna look back at everybody and be like, are we ready for this?
let's
I'm
try
gonna
to
charge
get
forward.
one. We didn't have a chance to respond, and then let's move it.
No, I'm gonna target that first one up there. And I'm gonna put on
Yo,
sleeves.
wait till they're. Hold on a second. Wait till everybody's up here.
We are
And then
all
as we're like
good.
kind of still in the shadows, like I want to go as close as Eagle would think until it would get people's attention, and then kind of like gesture for Joe to take his shot.
Okay. Coming to the corridor, as you're moving very quickly, the creatures chanting, robed with masks, they slowly turn in the direction as you begin to walk, seeming that they might not need necessarily visible light to be able to see space as they kind of look in the direction of the movement as well as the sights coming to the edge of the corridor. Many of them turn. One that is wounded, it seems, burned to a crisp, most of its robe actually missing, revealing the burnt and scarred black flesh of its center chest as well as its arm, and then revealing its actual face. It does not have eyes. It is just eye sockets. Its entire face is charred black, wrinkly skin with bald completely, no hair at all. Its jaw is unhinged and drooped with razor-sharp teeth and a tongue that unfurls itself. It currently holds a rod that normally, with the other three, this orb was slightly glowing. This orb is not. They shriek.
Come here, you ugly motherfucker. I need more heads for my trophy wall.
Someone's stopping their chant, shrieking in space.
Can I attack him?
Before we,
Are you firing your bow?
I am firing my bow.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Go ahead and pause it. Go ahead and say the first arrow is unleashed. As we're going to go ahead and get combat initiatives rolled. And we're going to get them rolled. And before we get into the combat, right, we're definitely at a time here where if we get into this engagement, it will push into the late hours of this evening. So we're going to get our initiatives rolled. I'm also going to describe something between the Duke and Elise, and then we're going to go ahead and conclude the session for the evening. All right?
I wanted to do something while everybody was saying. I just didn't want to jump in. Would it be okay if I added a gift of alacrity to Ezekiel while we were coming in?
That's fine.
Okay. Just add a D8 to your initiative, bro, David.
Yeah, I rolled 2 18s and 20 for my initiative today.
And 13.14.
Yep. I got you. I'm going to change it right now.
He's actually my fault. It's gonna be the 6 because I don't have spell slots. I just
You don't have any spell slots for the Gift of Life?
I do, but I'm not gonna drain a third level or a second level for it.
All right.
now.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sorry, David.
David, fuck me, right? Put you to a 6.
I'm sorry. I just went to go take it out, and I'm like,
Man,
oh,
David's not
I
worth
feel
it.
like I would rather have you not said anything at all, because now I feel like I was so fast and now I'm so slow.
I'm so sorry.
I think I'm the fastest I've ever been.
Best man
so-
alive! Oh,
As
no.
initiatives as a roll, as you're moving your space down into the corridor, you can see that the Duke is wearing in similar clothing as you've seen before. No, there's no black cloak. Apparently, this rider is wearing the kind of that black tunic that falls down into somewhat of the kind of a robish, the pants and different things. But you also now see that the Duke has a weapon of some kind. You can see that upon they have a short sword and sheathed within a belt. And then there's also armor, particularly underneath the tunic. There's a little bit more protrusion from the actual tunic. So still staying regal, but also, wielding, right? And then we see, as far as Elise is concerned, Elise is wearing, again, similar clothing, but no longer is kind of wearing a dress that they call it, they wear. They're wearing more leather, boots, and trousers, kind of venturing. And they currently don't seem to have armor on, but just by telling, there's some sort of hugging of the figure that they might. And they, in addition, have a short sword as well, sheathed to the side, and a black leather kind of scabbard. And then there are particularly a couple rings you've never seen upon Lisa's hand. Currently, The Duke is kneeled down, looking towards Elise, as Elise has hands outstretched, and the Duke is holding the hands outwards. The hands are bloody. You see as Elise slowly turns and is grabbing the hands and clenching them together as the Duke arises and they kiss.
We
Sweet.
knew it. We knew it.
I knew it.
So, I'm going to go ahead and calculate some experience points for the conclusion of the session today. I hope it was fun. You all are pumped for this dragon fight, and it was not probably what you all expected. So, hopefully that was a welcome surprise. Ezekiel, you still look like the Duke?
Yeah, I still do.
I love it. That's great.
Duke fight.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. I'll give you some more descriptions about the room when we get into the next session stuff, but definitely that's a good cliffhanger there for what you're all seeing here. So, all right. Any questions while I calculate experience?
I don't think so.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Any ethereal. Just seeing everything in a blue light for an hour.
I kind of have a question for the group. Are we gonna try to kill them now?
Yes.
I'm already letting arrows fly. Hell yeah.
Great.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing some type of weird ritual. It's not like oh, hey, can we schedule a fight for later? You know, how's your Tuesday look, bud?
You guys have been pretty no killing, so I need to be careful. You guys didn't let me kill the children, so I have to.
I mean, the Duke can definitely die, and these creatures can too. I don't know about Elise or not.
When me and Joe ran into the tavern, like before the dragon fight, Joe is yelling about like everybody being dead at the Duke's place,
Elise is a part of
So-
it. She has to die too.
Yeah, I know.
We don't know everything that's going on,
Are we giving Elise
Right.
the benefit of the doubt? Or we
They just
but I'm sure we
killed.
can argue about it in game. But Ezekiel would not intend to kill
We can
Elise just on what he saw.
non-lethal
Right now you're we're getting in combat, so the conversation for this should have happened before entering in. But whatever happens. You all have to take your actions. No meta this and just do it. I mean, take what you got and go. So 1,966 experience each. That should put you at 11,762 experience total. That was given in 2 stages, right? So we had the dragon sequence, and then we also have this what is kind of unfolded here, and also choices in general, kind of recognizing with your passives, and then also kind of going through the individuals. In addition, that experience, all of the individuals in the dining hall, the experience has been provided Ezekiel, just an FYI. So, hey, work smarter, not harder.
I'm all about that, getting XP for not actually having to fight all of it.
There you go. If you are watching the stream, we really appreciate it. Thanks so much. We'll be back next week. So hopefully you can stay tuned and watch what happens here to Group 6 as they go into this altar chamber and yeah, we'll see what happens. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Group 6. Bye-bye.